Altavista did win the toss and have deferred.
Yeah, that's been their MO all year. When they win the toss, they'll defer and take it in the second half. Never a bad idea. So we're almost set to go here as the captains run back to their respective huddles. Altavista, orange on orange tonight. It's the orange out, Oscar, and that's a lot of O's in one sentence. I probably don't need to do that again. Orange jerseys, orange pants, black socks, black helmet with the orange A. Nelson County on the other side. They've got green helmets, white jerseys, yellow pants, and most of those guys look like they have white socks on over there on that side for Nelson County. So Altavista will break that huddle, and they're ready to kick it off here. Walker Allen out to kick again. He's been outstanding all year.
He has. Walker's been very consistent, and I think very pleased from the coaching staff that he has been as consistent as he has for a freshman.
Yeah, there were a lot of unknowns coming into this season, the kicking game being one of them. You talked about they got great production last year from the kicking game. And you get a guy like Walker Allen. I mean, obviously they knew he could kick. They know he's got a good leg. But some guys, when you get in the game in the heat of the moment, you can't get it done. Walker Allen has not been one of those. He's been outstanding all year. And again, like those sophomores, it's easy to forget that Walker's just a freshman. Looks like back deep for the Governors. Their numbers are kind of hard to see. Not like that William Campbell game. But you got Turner back deep. There's one of them, Devontae Turner. He's one of those running backs that you'll see with vest. And Walker Allen's kick is away. And it's fielded on the 6-yard line. Return goes right hash mark. Got some room to run there, and he's brought down just shy of the 30-yard line on the numbers right there. It's about the 28-yard line. That is number 8, Kobe Etchison, 6'3", 190-pound senior. And that's where Nelson County will take over. 29-yard line, right hash mark. They'll scrimmage from there. They huddle up about 8 yards behind the ball, Oscar.
And Nelson County moving from left to right from the Bedford Avenue side towards the scoreboard.
Yeah, going out of town.
Beautiful night tonight for football.
Really couldn't ask for much more. It should cool down as the game goes on, but it's pretty perfect right now. Shotgun formation. Vest turns and hands it to Turner. Turner shakes off one guy, hit by a few more. He's still on his feet driving. He didn't get a lot of yards, but he put a lot of effort in. Altavista Colonel saying they have the football. We didn't see it come out from up here, but you got a lot of guys signaling for the orange. I think the officials will say he was down. And that'll make it 2nd and 7.
Yeah, he continued to drive, and forward progress was about 4 yards upfield, and they continued to push him back, and somewhere in that forward progress they called, and despite the ball was stripped, the whistle had already blown.
Ball's in the middle of the field now. Nelson County breaks that huddle. They go from a shotgun spread formation. Vest has got a running back right beside him and one right behind him. Seen Altavista do that a lot. He turns and hands it to his tailback, Turner, and Turner's brought down for little or no gain. Good stop by the Colonel.
It was a good stop, and Michi Malbeck got some penetration, was able to turn the play back inside. They're going to loss of 1.
Yeah, good job by Malbeck at that corner spot. I said it in the Gretna game. It bears repeating, Oscar. Scientists say 2/3 of the earth covered by water, the other third covered by Thornhill and Malbeck. Between those two guys, they cover a whole lot of ground on offense and defense. Thornhill's back deep at his safety, about 11 or 12 yards. Nelson County in the same formation. 3 receivers, a quarterback, and 2 running backs. Vest is going to pass. Scrambling out of the pocket. He's chased. He's going to pull it down. Didn't get to the first down marker. He might have gained 1 yard, but not much more.
And decent protection. He moved around in the pocket a little bit, Kyle, but nice coverage by the secondary downfield. And he didn't have anybody open. He had to tuck and try to run.
Yeah, Vest has completed 8 passes on the year. On the other side, Thornhill's completed 49, so you see a little bit of the discrepancy there. Nelson County, again, is a running team. They're in a punting formation now, though, on 4th and 5. They did give Vest of a gain of 1 or 2. Snap goes back, but whistles were blown before the punt could get off. I'm guessing this is on Nelson County.
Looks like a timeout, Nelson. The coach is coming out on the field to talk to the punting team, And that's exactly what it is.
Yep.
Timeout, Nelson County.
Coach Wells wants a timeout to talk about the punt. We'll take one as well. No score here from Altavista. 0-0 Colonel's Governors on 105.5 KD Country.
Accidents happen. When your windshield is chipped, come to Apple Auto Glass, 2429 Ford Avenue. They'll repair your chip for $39.95. In shop, only $39.95. Apple Auto Glass and Mirrors, 2429 Ford Avenue, Lynchburg. Give them a call at 846-2753, 846-2753. That's 846-2753. Apple Auto Glass, proud sponsor of Altavista Sports. Football is a tradition, and so is Apple Auto Glass. Go Colonels.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
0-0 the score here in the first quarter. First quarter brought to you by Apple Markets of Altavista. Snap back, punt is away. Decent kick's going to land on about the 40. Ball back's going to take it on the bounce from the 35. Nowhere to go. He's going to reverse field. Going out to his right, brought down basically where he started, Oscar. Right there short of the 40-yard line. 38-yard line is what we'll call it when it's all said and done. So maybe a return of 1 or 2 yards there from Michi Malbeck.
Yeah, ball bounced high. Nice coverage downfield by Nelson. Michi he had to go parallel. Wasn't able to get any steam up. So
yeah,
nice coverage.
The kick coverage was good, and I think Malbeck wanted to field it in the air. Then he backed off, and the bounce was a little bit higher than was conducive to his return. But anyway, Altavista's on offense. Now they got the football. Cody Andrews is up behind right guard in the blocking back. Thornhill is the quarterback, of course, in the shotgun. He turns and hands it off. It looks like Hawkins on the carry. Hawkins going to get about 1 or 2. Jacob Hawkins Jr. running the ball. We've seen him a bunch this year.
Yeah, we have, and you'll see him. You'll see Markel Payne possibly tonight. Michi, they'll hand him the ball some coming out. It'll be a lot of different people carrying the ball for the Colonels tonight.
Yeah. Destin Brown has the most touchdowns other than Thornhill out of the backfield, but a bunch of guys carry that football for the Colonels. Shotgun formation with 2 running backs. Thornhill swings it out to Malbeck. Malbeck can't hang on. Pass was a little wide, a little high, so it's an incomplete. And it sets up 3rd and 8 now. 9:07 to go in the first quarter. 0-0 is our score.
That little quick screen that we've seen, and Malbeck had some room to run. Ball was a little bit high. Michi was looking downfield. He wanted to go, and he had some room.
He did have some room, and I agree. The pass wasn't great, but it's one that normally Dimitri Malbeck handles. Same formation. Malbeck's in the slot, 2 wideouts to either side, 2 running backs to Thornhill's side. Thornhill's going to try the same play, same result. It's Malbeck's left hand and goes incomplete, no gain, no completion. So that'll bring up 4th and 8, and it looks like Altavista's going to punt.
And very similar start to what we saw last week. Looks like the Colonels were trying to throw the ball a little bit and couldn't establish the run early. And now they're, like you said, they're 4th down. They're going to punt.
Cody Andrews back deep to kick. It looks like a couple of the Altavista players signaling that they're short one guy on that kick team. They are. But number 64, Ashton Robinson, takes his place on that line there, so it looks like they're ready to kick it away. Andrews has had some good ones this year. This is a great snap, and he's got time to kick. Ball away to the right side. It's pretty good. Thornhill's the first man down there covering. They're going to let it roll, and it takes a nice Altavista bounce. It's going to stop dead just past the 25-yard line. Good kick from Andrews. 8:51 to go in the first quarter. That's where Nelson County will take over. Again, 0-0 score. Both teams have had a 3 and out. Both teams have punted it away successfully. No return there. It was Vest back deep. But again, Andrews hangs those punts up so high, Oscar, that you really don't have many returns because Altavista gets down there to cover it.
36-yard punt, no return.
Vest from the shotgun, hands it to Turner again. Turner's got some room inside after a cutback, brought down after about a 5-yard gain. Number 5, Jacob Hawkins, in on the tackle, got him around the waist and brought him down.
They're going to mark that on the 33-yard line, the 32-yard line. Gain of 6 brings up 2nd and 4. Nice hold given out by that time by the Nelson County offense.
Yeah, that O-line really can push some people around. Turner started out to his right, cut it back just a little bit, kind of turned it into a middle inside play. And it worked out well. 2nd and 4 now. Clock continues to run. 8:15 to go. 3 wide receivers. 3 backs in that backfield. This time Best will take off himself. First time we've seen him, and he's going to get stopped for no gain. Brought down in the backfield. It's actually going to be a loss of about 3. I think it was Demetrius Johnson in on the hit.
Yeah, it was Demetrius Johnson. Nice job of reading that play. Blew it up, and loss of about, they're going to call a loss of 3.
Best is a good hard runner, and he's got the breakaway speed. You heard that if you listened to Dave Haney's interview with Coach Sharnas. And one good way to stop him is to stop him before he gets started. Demetrius Johnson did just that.
A little bit of chess match going on here. A little bit of slow, feeling each other out right now.
Yep. 3rd and long here, 3rd and 7. Best turns to Devontae Turner. He's hit hard in the backfield and brought down. Good stop right there. Big stop for the Colonels, and it was number 10, Darius Johnson, that time on the tackle.
And Demetrius Johnson was right there with him. And no gain. And it'll bring up 4th and about 7.
We always said when the Johnson brothers meet up in the backfield, it's a wonderful thing for Altavista. Malback back deep again. Nelson County in the punt formation. 2 wide guys and 3 up backs. Punts on the ground, but he scoops it up and kicks it away. It's not a bad one. Line drive will land at about the 48-yard line, and again, Malback's just going to get away from it. Takes a nice Nelson County roll. So they get a decent punt off after their second 3 and out, and Altavista will try their hand on offense again. 6:51 to go in the Apple Market first quarter.
And hanging here right in the middle of the field, Colonels will take over on the 37-yard line. Last possession, they took over on the 38. Prior to that, Nelson County started their first drive on the 29. After the Altavista punt, they started on the 26. So nobody's been able to flip the field yet.
Not yet. Deja vu all over again. Didn't you just say that?
5 times, deja.
Shotgun formation again for Altavista. 2 running backs with Thornhill. He turns and hands it to one of them. He's hit by a swarm of Nelson County defenders. I couldn't even see the number there. He was hit by so many.
23.
And it looks like it's number 23, Devontae Clark. Right?
Yeah, it was Devontae Clark, and they're going to mark him down for a loss of 2.
2nd and 11.
Devontae Clark's another one of those guys we've seen a bunch of in the backfield. It's really been not a rotating, revolving door, because I think Destin Brown's the number 1 guy, but there's certainly been a lot of other guys at that tailback spot that have scored and gained some really good yardage. Devontae Clark is back there again. You got Andrews in the backfield with him. Thornhill is the quarterback in the shotgun. Shotgun snap right to his waist. Good throw out here, complete to Malback. Malback cuts it back. He's got a gain of 10. He's still going now. He's brought down around the ankles on that far sideline. Oscar getting at 12.
Well, great play. Once again, Michi had 3 players from Nelson descending on him. No blockers. He was able to get past 2 of them and had a shoestring catcher. He would have been gone.
He really is a magician out there. Now you see him, now you don't. I mean, he doesn't need blockers a lot of the time. If you just give him one good block, usually it's going to end up in a touchdown. Nice 12-yard pickup there from Malback. Same play Altavista tried a couple times earlier. This time it's complete. Fresh set of downs here from the 49, and we got some snap count issues. Let's see who this is on. Thornhill's clapping. He thinks it's on Nelson. I think it might be on Altavista. We'll just wait for the signal. 5:43 to go in the first quarter. That was the first down that we have seen. Only first down of the game so far. Only first down picked up. This is going to go against Altavista on the false start, so it'll make it 1st and 15. 44-yard line, far hash mark now.
Yeah, Colonels look a little conservative so far, Kyle. I don't know if they're just trying to fill each other out, but they look a little bit conservative, almost a little flat here on the offensive side.
Yeah. 1st and 15. Thornhill's on that right hash mark towards the Nelson County sideline. He'll turn and give it to Devontae Clark. Clark wrapped up around the neck. Didn't gain anything. Looked like he got back to the line of scrimmage. Bring up 2nd and 15. Nelson County has some fans in that far section over there. Not a bunch, but they got a few people making the trip. Maybe they're all listening at kdcountry.com.
Or streaming.
Streaming online, that's right. It's brought to you by Walmart in Altavista on Clarion Road. And you're right, Oscar. Play calling a little bit conservative so far. I'm sure there's a rhyme and a reason, a madness to the method, if you will, or vice versa even. Shotgun formation. Thornhill had a man behind him. He'll roll out after the fake. Looking to pass. He pulls it down. Now he throws it. It's got Andrews complete. Andrews turns it up left sideline. He's tight walking that sideline there. Tightrope walking it, and big gain. First down pickup. Finally brought down by number 10, Elijah Meredith Vance, after a nice gain right there.
They're going to mark it at the 27 of the Colonels. So a 33-yard pass completion, and Juan had some pressure on him. He had Demetrius Johnson wide open downfield, but he couldn't. He had too much pressure from Nelson. Was able to hit Andrews on the sideline. Great job by Andrews walking down that sideline. And Colonels are in business here.
Yeah, excellent play right there. Andrews shrugged off the initial tackle. Had tried to get him as he caught it, and then gained big pickup. Thornhill's going to go straight up the gut on the run. Shakes off one guy. Now he bounces it outside, still on his feet. Got 6 or 7 yards before he's brought down. Good play right there. First run so far of the night for Thornhill. And they're going to say he only got about 4, but still a nice pickup.
Gain of 4 yards.
And, if Juan didn't go over the 1,000 mark passing on that first one to Malback, he certainly did on the second one to Andrews.
Well, he needed 30. He had the first one for 13. Then he only needed 33 coming in tonight, so he got it. Yeah. We hadn't seen Dustin Brown in the backfield tonight.
Not yet. He's over there on that sideline in pads. I believe he was on defense. Formation going to the left here, and that's where Thornhill's going. He's going to bust it outside. He's got some room. Runs over one guy and brought down the guy he ran over. Managed to hold on. First down pickup, though. Good yardage from Thornhill. He gets it all the way down to the 8-yard line, Oscar. And now all of a sudden Altavista's offense is starting to pick up. They're knocking on the door of that end zone.
Spot on the 8-yard line. First and goal, Altavista.
Colonels had the overshift to the left side there. They had 3 guys bunched up just off the left tackle, and then they had another wide out as well.
And nice job by that left side of that offensive line, clearing a hole for Juan.
Yep. You got that bunch formation to the left again. One lone wide receiver out there to the right. I believe that's Jacob East. Running back is to Thornhill's left. Thornhill's going to go up the middle, bounced outside. Guy grabbed him around the knees and the ankles and brought him down. After a short gain, tackle was number 42, Alec Shiflett. Good job by him hanging on, because he was the only person standing between Juan and the end zone. Gained about 1. Moved it up to the 7-yard line. Second and goal from there. 3:07 to go.
No score. Colonels at the 6-yard line.
Thornhill surveys that defense, takes his time. Here's the shotgun snap. It's a perfect one. He hands it off. No, he fakes it to Hawkins. Now he's going around left side. 2-1 touchdown. Thornhill's in. Really made it look very easy and got a great block from Demetrius Johnson on the outside there. 6-yard touchdown run from Juan Thornhill.
He did get a nice block, and he stuck that ball deep in the gut of the running back, and it really froze the defense for Nelson County, and he was able to waltz in down the left side. Nice drive by the Colonels.
Another great fake from Thornhill. You know, whether it's a run by him or a play-action pass, he sticks that ball in the gut of the potential ball carrier and rides it through. Extra point snap is good. Kick is very long. It bounces off the fire truck, and they say it's no good. I think he pulled it to the left. But Altavista's up 6-0 regardless after the Thornhill touchdown. 2:50 remains in the first quarter. Altavista up early on 105.5 KD Country.
Have you looked at your business banking fees lately? I'm Sean Stone with First National Bank, and we have the best business accounts which offer serious savings for your company. We have a full menu of business products from checking accounts and remote deposit capture to online banking. And we have a local merchant card representative who will customize services just for your business. So let First National Bank prepare an analysis of your current activity and show how we will reduce your banking fees. First National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
2:50 to go here in the first quarter. Altavista up 6-0 on the 6-yard touchdown from Juan Thornhill. Again, Oscar, after the great play fake really held the defense. There was only one guy that could make the tackle for Nelson, and Demetrius Johnson had him walled off with a great block. Good offensive possession there from the Colonels.
It really was. 8 plays, 63 yards, 401. Nice mix. They had, 4 passing plays, 2 incompletions, and they had 2 rushing plays. Vice versa. They had 5 running plays and 3 passing plays. Excuse me.
Kick on the way from Walker Allen. It's a semi-line drive, fielded at the 8 by number 8, Kobe Etchison. Etchison turns it upfield, got a good return going on. He drives ahead, gets it past the 30-yard line to about the 33. So not bad starting field position for Nelson County. Governors have not picked up a first down so far.
And Etchison was a last-minute addition to the Governor's roster tonight. So he's shown a nice return game so far.
Absolutely. If you're keeping track at home, that's Juan Thornhill's 19th touchdown of the year. 18 of them on the ground. Pretty impressive. He's thrown for 8 as well. Nelson County ready to go. First down here. Altavista looks like they came across the line. Nelson County mixed up that snap count a little bit. And this is probably going to be 5 free yards for them. Although, I don't know. Seems like Nelson County's trotting backwards. No, they did call it against Altavista. In the neutral zone there.
First and 5.
So it'll bring up a 1st and 5. 2:42 now in the first quarter. Talking about that scoring, Tyler Vest, the quarterback for Nelson County, is right behind Juan Thornhill with 15 touchdowns. And he's got 6 2-point conversions to boot. Juan has 1. Thornhill turns and hands it to his running back, Turner. Turner's got some room on the left side outside the tackle there. Still on his feet, driving, and really great job by the Nelson County O-line because they were driving as well. Saw all those guys getting past that first down marker. I'm not sure if the ball did. They say it did.
Yeah, they're going to mark it at the 45-yard line, gain of 8. After the first down penalty, it was only 1st and 5.
So the initial first down there, the first down of the night for Nelson County, comes with 2:24 to go in the game. And they'll get a fresh set of downs from that far hash mark right at the 45-yard line. They take some time in that huddle. You know, Oscar, we're used to seeing so many teams that run this shotgun spread not huddling. Nelson County does huddle up. But now they've broken in, they're set to go. Lyman in a 3-point stance. Vest fakes it. He's going right up the gut. He's got some room. He's almost to full speed now. Got a first down and ran over a guy after about a 15-yard gain. And Tyler Vest showing why he's got some of these great numbers. A 20-yard pickup there. Man, once he gets that thing in 5th gear, you better look out.
And he lowered that shoulder and put some punishment on somebody.
Yeah. Excellent run there from Vest. And again, Altavista's got to... You can't ever stop a guy like that, but you got to contain him as much as possible.
19-yard pickup for Nelson County on that play.
And Vest really never went down. He just went out of bounds on his own there.
He's got that RG3 build. I mean, you can just see he's thick through the thighs.
Shotgun snap does go to Vest, and he keeps it. Going to go outside to the left near his sideline. That time he's met at the line of scrimmage hard by a couple Colonels. Not sure who it was over there. I believe Jacob East was one of them from that cornerback spot, but he had help.
Jacob East, Daquan Myers, and Demetrius Johnson again. All 3 were in the vicinity.
Yeah. And that time Vest was a little more horizontal, a little more east to west. Never really got his shoulders turned up the field. So that gave the Colonels a little bit of a chance to slow him down, and they did just that. They actually mark it for about a yard loss. Under 2 minutes to go now in the first quarter. Colonels lead 6-0. 2nd and 11 for Nelson County. Vest hands it to Turner. Turner goes straight up the gut. Good surge here from the O-line, but I think Turner only got about 1 or 2 before he was brought down. Demetrius Johnson getting up off the pile first.
Darius Johnson.
Destin Brown is checking in the game on defense, Oscar, if you were keeping track. Maybe we'll see him in the backfield a little later on. 3rd and 7 on the way for Nelson.
Colonels in that traditional 5-3 defense, or 3-5. Nelson County in a spread.
Yeah, they're in that shotgun formation that Altavista uses a lot with 2 running backs. Vest to pass. Got a little bit of time. He throws it. Good tight spiral. It's complete. Left sideline for the necessary first down pickup. And let's see who caught it. It's a long ways over there. East stopped him on the tackle, never brought him down. Looks like number 6, Dre Brown, on the reception. And again, it was a first down pickup. Good throw.
Results in a Governor first down.
Chains keep moving for Nelson County. The Colonels would love to get another stop, but at least they're making the Governors earn their way down the field.
And with under a minute left, that's the first pass play that Nelson County's run tonight.
Yeah, it was a good tight spiral from Vest. I mean, really good-looking arm, and he had a nice pocket to throw from, too. Same formation, a running back beside Vest and a running back behind Vest. The guy beside him switched over to his right. Now they put the slot guy in motion, fake the jet sweep to him, and Vest is dancing back there looking for a hole. He finds one now outside, got about a 5-yard gain. He's finally run out of bounds after about a 6 or a 7-yard gain.
It was Vest, and 4 or 5 Colonels had him looked like pinned in. He just almost came to complete stop, and when he accelerated, he just outran the Colonels.
Yeah, Vest was doing the one-man tango and the one-man twist back there as he danced for a little while, looking for some room, and finally got some. After they spot it, they end up giving him closer to 8 yards. On the 18-yard line, far hash mark. That's where this 2nd and 2 will come from. 24 seconds remain in the first quarter. This could be the last play. Altavista getting their defense set, man in motion again. This time they give it to the motion guy. That's Brown. Brown's got a first down. Not much more as he's hit around the thighs and brought down. His helmet came off. Altavista's got one guy slow to get up, but he does finally get up. That was Darius Johnson. I think Darius was the one that brought him down and hit him, but Darius may have taken some punishment on that one too.
Yeah, it looks like he did. It was a gain of 5, another first down for Nelson County.
Nelson County able to really keep those chains moving. They're going to take a little bit of a break, though, as they head back to the sidelines. 10 seconds remaining in this first quarter, and they're just going to let it run down. So we'll take a quick timeout at the end of the first. Altavista 6, Nelson County nothing on 105.5 KD Country.
The game is brought to you by these members of the Altavista Sports Club.
Chef's Drive-In, serving hometown pride with 18 flavors of milkshakes.
Comfort Inn in Altavista, outdoor pool and free hot breakfast with your stay.
Steve's Florist, best quality at the best price for all occasions.
El Cerrito Mexican Restaurant, authentic Mexican food, open 7 days a week.
Aubrey Rosser, attorney at law, Main Street, Altavista.
Piece of Pie Restaurant, Lower Broad Street, Altavista. Give peace a chance.
China Walk Super Buffet, American and Chinese food with the newest item, crab.
Perkins Twin Tire and Auto Service, your Michelin tire store.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Second quarter getting ready to start here from English Stadium, Altavista High School. Colonels up 6-0. Oscar. It was a Juan Thornhill run. And that's where we stand. Neither team could get much offense going early, but now they both seem to have found the right ingredient there on the offensive end.
No, and we talk about yardage in the first quarter. Altavista 28 on the ground, 36 through the air for a total of 64. Nelson with 55 on the ground, 8 through the air for a total of 63. Altavista had 10 yards in penalties, so it's as even a first quarter as you could possibly get. And, of course, Nelson County is on the drive here at the beginning of the second quarter inside the 15-yard line.
Yeah, Governor's on the move. They took a lot of time in between the quarter there. They're just now breaking that huddle, getting set. I think the officials have got the clock the way they want it, though, and they gave Nelson County all the time they wanted. Now the official starts it up. And we're almost set to play here. Same formation again for the Governors. 3 wide receivers, 2 wide outs and a slot guy, and then there's 3 backs in the backfield, 2 running backs, and Vest, the quarterback. Vest is going to go up the gut. He danced for a little bit again, didn't get much. Might have gained 1 before he's finally brought down. For little to no gain, 11:49 now to go in this half. First play of the second quarter.
2nd and 10.
Vest does a good job when he gets the ball. He doesn't immediately try to hit a hole. He looks and surveys and see where his best options are. A little bit of a delay, but he's got great acceleration.
Yeah, he really does wait for that hole to open up most of the time. And with that great acceleration that you mentioned, when he does see it, he hits it rather quickly. Dangerous running back who can also throw a little bit as well. He's in the shotgun formation again for Nelson County at the quarterback spot. He's got the long hair coming out of the back of the helmet. He's going to try left side. Now he's going to have to break it outside in a sweep. Hit hard, not brought down, but he is run out of bounds. Thornhill was the closest guy to it. They may give Juan credit for a tackle for chasing him out after about a 2-yard gain.
Third and long for the Governors.
Going to bring up 3rd and 9. Nick Bailey, our engineer, back at the studio, always making us sound good.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Good might not be the word, but as good as we can sound. And another one of our fantastic engineers, Eleanor Haney's having a birthday tonight. Doubt she's listening. They're probably partying pretty hard, though. But happy birthday if she is. And Nelson County could really use a first down here. 3rd and 9. If they didn't get it, we'd be in that old situation. Do you go for it? Do you try and kick it? I don't know. Going to go with the tight end this time. Vest is going to pass. Steps up in the pocket after he's chased out. He throws. He's got a man, but I think Malbeck may have picked it off. If Michi didn't pick it off, he knocked it down. They say it's incomplete. Great defense from Malbeck.
Vest kind of pulled a string on that pass because Michi took the break on him. If he'd have thrown that ball chest level, Michi would have had a pick 6. He'd have been gone.
Yeah, excellent play there from Malbeck. Vest was forced to step up in the pocket, and he looked pretty calm, cool, and collected in doing that, but then didn't get as much on the throw as he wanted, and I think Coach Wells and his quarterback Vest are going to talk over this 4th down call here. We'll take a quick timeout. Colonel's lead, 6-0. Big 4th down on the way for the Governors here on 105.5 KD Country.
In the past century, our community has grown, and Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service has grown too, alongside the families they've known for so long. Finch & Finch is proud to have served you over 100 years. A family business, Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service, dedicated to your service.
Finch & Finch Funeral Homes. We're here because we care.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
50 years of award-winning high school sports coverage. Colonels up 6-0 here in this one. 4th and 9 on the way for Nelson County. They took their second time out of the half to talk over this play call. And Oscar, this is a big one here.
Yeah, and looks like they're coming out and looks like they're going for it.
Yeah. Well, Vest and Turner, his tailback, did stay back a little longer. It almost looked like they were going to line up in a kicking formation, but they're not. Vest is going to pass. Rolls out to his right. He's looking, throws deep. Got a guy in the end zone, but it's knocked away by Dimitri Malbeck again. What a play right there from Malbeck. He's broken up the last 2 on 3rd and 4th down. You can't ask for much more than that from your cornerback.
Nice athletic play by Michi to be able to knock that ball down. Colonels take over on downs at the 12-yard line.
Wow, and a good defensive stand there from the Colonel defense. Nelson County had really put together a nice productive drive, and to get a stop that close to the end zone is impressive. Colonels will take over from the right hash mark, near side hash mark, from the 12-yard line, their own 12. Thornhill's in the same formation Nelson was running with 2 quarterbacks. He hands it to his tailback, 2 running backs, hands it to one of those running backs, and he stopped for no gain. I believe it was Hawkins.
That's Jacob Hawkins on the carry. No gain. 2nd and 10.
10:36 to go in the second quarter. Oscar Altavista on top, 6-0.
Yeah, and we still hadn't seen Destin Brown in the backfield on offense, so you got to wonder what's going on there, whether he's banged up, exactly what that story is. We'll send our sideline reporter down and check on that.
Yes, we will, with the extra time at halftime because of homecoming. We may actually have time to do that. Thornhill's going to put Malbeck in motion. They snap, fake it to him. Now Thornhill's going to roll right side. Got a nice block from Hawkins and another nice one from Andrews before he's finally run out of bounds 15 yards later. Big gainer right there.
Boy, I think you called that exactly right. That was a nice block by Hawkins to spring one.
Yeah, really a couple of nice blocks there on the outside as Thornhill took it about 15 yards. First down. He got run out of bounds on his own sideline there.
Yes.
10:05 remaining in the second quarter. Altavista with a fresh set of downs. They lead 6-0. Subway halftime show to follow. And again, it will be extended a little bit. That's okay because we got plenty of things to talk about. Maulback's going to go in motion here, giving Altavista 3 receivers to the left. Pass play. Thornhill wanted to roll to that side, and then he got cut off. Now he's got a man wide open. It's Jacob East. East has caught it on the 35-yard line. Now he's to the 20, to the 15, and he's dragged out of bounds. Touchdown saving tackle from number 10, Elijah Meredith Vance. And he snuck in behind the defense.
Yeah, he did. And he had a 10, 15-yard cushion. And I think Juan, after scrambling, was so surprised he was wide open, he actually floated the ball a little bit. But again, nice pickup by the Colonels.
Yeah, very good passing play. And give East some credit, because sometimes when you're that wide open, that's when you drop it. You start taking off to that end zone too quick. Forget about securing the catch. East did not do that. Nice pickup there.
There's definitely a collective sucking of breath up here in the press box.
Thornhill's got 3 receivers to his left again. He's got Hawkins to his right. He hands it to Hawkins. Hawkins trying to run out of a shoestring tackle, but he can't. He got it back to the line of scrimmage, but nothing else. Bring up 2nd and 10 now. 9:38 remains.
And the Colonels can get a first down here. It's they're right at the inside the 11. They need to get to about the 1.5-yard line to get the first down.
Yeah, you figure if they do get the first down, they'll be in the end zone, but you never know. And you're absolutely right. There is a little bit of a gap there between that pylon on the far side and the first down marker. Same formation. 3 receivers to the left, running back to the right. 1 lone wide out to the right is East. Thornhill's going to go to the right. Off tackle. Nice block again from East, and it's a touchdown from Juan Thornhill, his 2nd of the night. That gives Altavista a 12-0 lead. 11-yard touchdown run from Juan Thornhill.
Boy, and once again, flawless execution on the block from Jacob East. Locked him up, the corner, engaged him, and froze him, gave Juan a nice lane, just walked into the end zone.
I mean, Juan Thornhill really is making it look easy there when he takes off, and once Juan gets into full speed, you can pretty much kiss him goodbye. You're not going to see anything but taillights and dust. And that's all Nelson County got a good look at on that play. Again, great block from East, a good one from Hawkins. Right there off left tackle was big as well, and the Colonels are going to go for 2. 12-0 lead. They'll try and get it back to a 14-0 lead after they missed extra point. Touchdown came at 9:05. This is an untimed down. Thornhill's going to go under center. Got 2 wing backs and then 2 running backs in the backfield. There's a flag just as Juan was getting in that low crouch, getting ready to take the snap. See who it's on. Colonels took some time there, but I didn't think they took too much time. They're going to say it's illegal participation. Either they broke the huddle with too many guys or didn't have the right combination of guys. I think they just had too many on the field.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is, Kyle. They broke the huddle with too many players.
Canadian football, they're fine.
Hey,
yeah. I don't think Coach Jarnes was watching a bunch of Canadian football this week and he said, hey, let's run this. I think it was a mix-up in the huddle. But, hey, it's fun to laugh about. Colonels are still going to try the 2-point conversion. They'll try it from a little deeper. 8-yard line. Thornhill's got 3 running backs with him. Full house, 2 tight ends. He's under center. He fakes the handoff. Bootleg to his left. He's got all day to run that in the end zone. 2-point conversion is good on the naked bootleg from Thornhill. Bumps it up to a 14-0 lead. Juan's got all 14. Colonel's up 2 scores here with 9:05 to go on 105.5 KD Country.
English Construction Company has been in the building business since 1932, so it's only natural that they appreciate the building process. They recognize the fact that organized sports programs build character as well as bodies and minds. They know that high school sports build our youth into more well-rounded and more productive adults. English Construction Company is proud to be a sponsor of high school sports and salute all athletes, coaches, and teachers. A word of praise and encouragement from English Construction Company with offices in Lynchburg, Virginia.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
14-0 from English Stadium here in Altavista, Oscar, and that was a long drive right there, capped off with some nice runs by Juan Thornhill.
Yeah, it was 5 plays, 88 yards, 2 minutes and 46 seconds. Of course, the big play was the 56-yard pass play from Thornhill. So, again, Colonels lead 14-0.
Well, it's homecoming here, as we've talked about, and it's one of those deals where you get a lot of former students and, just various people from the community coming to this game that might not come to some other games. And I think maybe if they've heard about Juan Thornhill, they know he's for real now, that the stats don't lie. As Juan has already gone in for 2 touchdowns and a 2-point conversion. Got 20 now on the year. And he's as impressive as ever. He's gotten some great help to go along with it, both in the form of blocking and guys catching the passes for him. Defense has been good, too. Kickoffs fielded on the 12-yard line by Etchison again. Etchison's going to go right sideline. Slow playing a little bit now. Good return, though. Got it past the 30 again. Probably spot this on about the 33-yard line. About the same place Nelson County started all their other drives from.
That's just about right. 32, 26, and the 33-yard line have been where they've started their drives from.
Oscar, don't forget about the wonderful Sports Buffet podcast brought to you by our esteemed colleague, well, not esteemed, but our colleague, Bob Alvis. You can get there from the KD Country website. Bob's always got a lot of great content on there, a lot of high school football stuff, high school sports in general, not just high school, but definitely a lot of high school stuff on there.
Well, he does, and some ODAC stuff, and he goes over to Liberty, and he's got them involved now, so a pretty good, diverse.
Yeah, Bob's well-rounded. I think that's why he calls it the buffet. There's a lot of different items on that buffet. Flag down here is Nelson County. Vest is going to try and go right side there. He's dragged down in the backfield. Let's see what the flag is. It didn't come when the play started. It came as the play was going on.
Center had to move.
I think it happened before the play, or as the play was happening. The ref just couldn't get out of the pocket there. Maybe, Oscar, huh?
Yeah, that's what they're talking now. They mark it as a 3-yard gain, kind of an odd. 3-yard loss, kind of an odd spot. Looked like it was closer to.
Oh, you got to take it.
Holding against Nelson County.
Looks like it was closer to the 26-yard line where he was down, but they're going to mark it on the 30 as a 3-yard loss. Altavista will decline the penalty. 2nd and 13.
Yeah, would have been 1st and 15 again, or 2nd and 13. Obviously, if he gains yards, you'll take the penalty then. But since you threw him for a loss anyway, probably not the worst idea in the world to decline it. And Nelson County will go from the 30-yard line. 2nd and 13, same formation for them again. Best has got a running back beside him, and he's got Turner right behind him. He gives it to Turner, then spins around. Turner got back to about the original line of scrimmage there, going up the middle. Not a whole lot more. Call it a 3-yard gain.
3rd and 10.
Gonna bring up another 3rd down. Nelson County picked up a few on their last drive, but they couldn't pick up a 3rd down and couldn't pick up a 4th down. As Malback broke up a couple passes.
After that drive that stalled out at the 12 on this possession, Altavista drove the ball down the field. It looks like they picked up some keys and are reading this Nelson County offense a little bit better than they were.
I would agree with you, Oscar. I think Altavista is doing a great job. Colonel linebackers are right behind that defensive line. Vest wants to pass on 3rd down. He's got to get rid of it. He didn't. It got knocked away, and Andrews picked it off. It got tipped high in the air, and Andrews ran up kind of like a jump ball and took it away. It was actually Darius Johnson, number 10, on the pick. That was just like a rebound in basketball right there at the 20-yard line. I didn't know if they were going to call it a fumble or an incomplete pass.
Didn't matter.
Because Johnson caught it in the air.
A couple of Colonels were there as he got his arm forward, and the Colonels wrapped him up, and that ball was spinning end over end and twirling up in the air, and Darius Johnson went up and snagged that rebound.
Yep.
And we're used to seeing that.
Hold it right off the glass right there. Excellent play from Darius Johnson. Stoppage in play here. Nelson County wants another timeout to talk things over on defense. Altavista got great field position here from the Governor's 20. They're up 14-0. Take a quick timeout here on 105.5 KD Country.
Installing Atrium vinyl replacement windows is like an investment in your home that can begin to pay dividends right away. You can save up to 30% or more on your home's heating and cooling costs. Add to your home's equity and add to its value by upgrading its looks and energy efficiency. Custom crafted Atrium vinyl replacement windows. Invest in your home's future with English's.
English's is your complete home center.
Business 29, Altavista.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
14-0 here. 7:49 in the second quarter. Oscar Altavista on top, and they're looking to make it even more than that.
Chatham 28.
Colonels will go from the left hash mark, 20-yard line. We talked about that. We talked about that Appomattox Dan River game, Oscar. The other Dogwood game, Chatham and Gretna Cavaliers up on the Hawks right now, 28-14. Maul back in motion, going away from the formation, and whistles come out, flags come out before we can get started. Nelson County used their third timeout there. Altavista's got all three of theirs left for the half. They're going to say this is on the Governors. Apparently they had too many guys on the field.
Well, they did. And usually they let that ball get snapped and play before they make that call. But
yeah, who knows? Either way, Altavista's got a 1st and 5. Nelson County got a 3-5 defense of their own. One of those linebackers is up tight on the line. The other's back like a safety, and another flag comes out as the ball is getting snapped. Can't get anything done here.
It looks like it's probably going to be on the Colonels.
False start, so we end up, those two plays never happen.
5 yards. Going to bring it back to the original 1st and 10.
As each team gets a little 5 yards out of their penalty column, which is something no coach wants, but it's bound to happen. Altavista, middle of the field, 20-yard line again. Thornhill wants to play from the sideline. The O-line huddles up, and the skill guys stay out of that huddle. They get the sign from Coach Sharness on the sideline there. Finally in position, and the Colonels probably got to hurry here. They've ran a lot of time off that play clock. Snap gets away and no flags. Thornhill's looking to pass. Throws it over the middle. Nobody there. It was a lot closer to the Governor's defenders than it was any of his own guys, but it is incomplete.
2nd and 10 Colonels.
And, that play, I don't know if it ever had a chance. It looked like it was slow getting the signal in, slow developing. Some of the backfield players couldn't get right. One had to get them in place. Michi came in motion. It didn't look like a well-organized play.
No, it didn't. And you saw some of those linemen kind of imploring the sideline to get them that play. Maybe they didn't know the play or the formation. Altavista set to go 2nd and 10 here. Thornhill's got Hawkins right beside him to his right. 3 receivers to the left. Middle of the field, 20-yard line. Here's the snap. It's a good one. Thornhill's going to go right side. Got some room. Going to keep it outside. He's outside by the numbers now. Down to the 10. He runs out of bounds. Stays on his feet. Takes it all the way to the track, but he went out right at the 10-yard line.
They're going to mark it inside the 10, and if that's the case, that's going to be a 1st down, Andy.
1st down marker was right there at the 10, like you said. You're right. This official, where he went out of bounds, has got it in between the 10 and the 9. Waiting on the head guy to give the signal, and they do. It is a 1st down, so it'll be 1st and goal. 9.5 yards.
1st and goal for the Colonels.
7:35 remains. Colonels up 14-0. You just joined us. Thornhill's got 2 touchdowns already, and a 2-point conversion to boot. Going to send Maul back in motion behind the tailback. He gives it to the tailback. About a 3 or 4 yard gain. Looked like
Daquan Myers, number 15.
Yep.
That's number 15, Daquan Myers.
Myers. I believe it's his 1st or 2nd carry of the night. I think it's his 2nd. I think we saw him one at a time. Picks up about 1 or 2. Ball spot on the 7-yard line here, near side hash mark.
You talked about the Gretna Chatham game. One of the other big games in the area was Brookville and Amherst tonight. Looks like Brookville's off to a 19-zip lead.
Yep.
Early in that one.
And we'll try and get more updates as we go on. We've got a good one here. Thornhill's got a tailback right behind him. He's going to have Maulback behind him and the tailback. They fake it to Myers. Now he pitches it out to Maulback on the option. Maulback going for that pylon to the left side, cuts it back, bounces off his own guy, touchdown.
And great job of blocking out by that whole left side. Both Washingtons were out on that. Johnsons were out on that side and engaged their blocks and held them, and Michi was able to walk into the end zone.
Good-looking option run there from Thornhill, then the pitch to Maulback. You got to respect Thornhill running the ball, so everybody converges on him. He pitches it out to Dimitri. Maulback looks like he's going for that far pylon, Oscar, and then he cuts it back, ends up running to his own guy, but makes it work anyway. Kick up from Walker Allen. This one looked like it went a little left too, but he snuck it inside the uprights, and it's good. 21-0 the score. Altavista's racing out to a big lead here early in the second quarter on 105.5 KD Country.
A short drive will save you money.
That's right. A short drive can save you hundreds, maybe thousands. The absolute best selection of new and pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Have a trade? When you make a deal, Fellers Chevrolet will pay it off, no matter how much you owe. Slow credit? Don't worry. Drive away today in your new or pre-owned vehicle. Remember, if you didn't purchase your vehicle from Fellers Chevrolet, you paid too much for it.
Fellers Chevrolet in Altavista.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
6:42 remains in the half. Subway halftime show to follow us here after this second quarter, Oscar, but the Colonels are on top 21-0. Dimitri Malbach, 7-yard touchdown run off the option pitch from Juan Thornhill. Altavista continuing to spread this lead out.
And defense led to that touchdown. The pressure on quarterback for Nelson County. It was able to get the ball on the interception at the 20-yard line. And you give Colonels a short field like that, they're going to take it 5 plays, 20 yards, 1 minute and 7 seconds. Colonels lead 21-0.
Yeah, Darius Johnson on the interception there at the 20-yard line. Give him a lot of credit for getting airborne and pulling out that jump ball off the glass. You get a whistle here on the kick. Kick was fielded on the 5, but there is another flag on the play, Oscar. We thought we saw a lot of flags last week. I think we might be on pace for that again this week.
Yeah, we did. I know the Colonels had 6 penalties for 85 yards last week, and I know that Coach Shorness was a little bit apprehensive. And that was the official stat was 6, and if I was over/under and betting, I'd have said it was been 10.
Yeah. I agree. It seemed like a lot more than 6, but maybe some of them weren't accepted. You get into that sometimes.
That's true.
Anyway, this is going to back Altavista up 5. They had somebody come across that line of scrimmage too early on the kick there. So Walker Allen will have to do it all again. Puts the ball on the tee and then steps away from it. That kick coverage team is good for Altavista. I think they just got a little overzealous there. They're blue collar. They just tried to punch in a little bit early. Referees aren't going to pay any overtime. Got to wait till the kick is away, and this one is away. No flags, line drive right to the middle of the field. Not fielded cleanly, but here it's picked up by Vest off the redirect. Vest is looking for room to run. Used a couple moves there and ended up gaining 7 yards or 8 yards before he's brought down at the 25.
Again, good coverage by the Colonels. Jacob Hawkins came flying down, got him around the shoestrings, and Nelson County will start this drive at the 25-yard line.
Well, not their best starting field position of the night. In fact, it's probably their worst. They'll start from this left hash mark there, going right to left down the field. They've got 6:35 remaining in the second quarter. Altavista up 21-0.
I think this is an important drive for Nelson County. They need to get some points on the board on this drive.
Absolutely. If they could get a score here, I think they'd be right in it. Vest is going to pass. Throws deep. Got a man. Coverage by Thornhill. Thornhill knocked it away. Here comes the flag in a little bit after the fact. Thornhill throws up his hands as if to say, who, me? He was looking for number 42, Alex Shiflett. And I think the flag is probably pass interference, Oscar, don't you?
Well, I think that's what they're going to call. But Juan Thornhill came over the top. The timing was perfect on that.
Yeah.
If anything, Michi might have been short on the short end coverage, but I disagree with this call.
Yeah, Shiflett was lined up in the tight end spot. They snuck him out. Again, Vest threw a nice tight spiral to him, lofted it up in the air a little bit. That gave Thornhill some time from his center field spot to run over there. And like you said, it could be that it was Malbach on the front side there and maybe not Juan from the back side.
The Colonels are lucky that he get another 15-yard penalty on that play. One of the Colonels players picked up the flag, flipped it about 5 yards back towards the official, and official laid into him pretty heavily about that.
Yeah, you don't ever want to do that. Vest turns it around, gives it to Turner. Turner got hit at the line of scrimmage but ended up driving his feet. Now you get the scrum in the middle of the field there. Let's see where they end up spotting this one. Call it a gain of about 4.
Second and 6.
Good hard running there from Devontae Turner. He's a senior running back. Vest is the senior quarterback, and they're the real 1-2 punch for Nelson County. 6 minutes remaining in the half. Altavista up 21-0. Again, if you just joined us, Thornhill has 2 touchdowns and a 2-point conversion. Malbeck has a rushing touchdown. Gives him 9 on the year. And Walker Allen is 1 for 2 on the extra points. Nelson ready to scrimmage here, 2nd and 6 from the far hash mark. Give it to Turner again. Turner's got nothing. He's going to lose about 4 or 5. Big takedown there by the Colonels.
Dante Poindexter
on the solo tackle for a loss.
Yeah, they're going to call that a loss of 3. Nice job by Devontae as he was able to get in, blow that, wrap up the player, and sling him to the ground.
And Poindexter, like Allen, just a freshman. We talk about the super sophomore group, but there's some guys even younger than that making a dent out there.
You know, we keep talking about the future of this Colonels football team, and again, it's 6-1 this year. It's been a great year, but a lot of youth on this team. This looks like this could be a nice 2-3 year run for the Colonels.
Yeah, you got to think if they can keep everybody together and healthy and keep getting better as another flag comes out. So I'll continue the thought. Nelson was ready to scrimmage there. I thought I was going to have to stop, but you'd like to think if you can keep this young group of guys together and healthy, Oscar, and continuing to work hard like they do, that this team is going to be a real force. I mean, just an absolute monster. They're right in the thick of the things in the district at 3-0, 6-1 overall, and we already mentioned they're the 4th seed right now in that eastern section of Division I, the playoff standings. And obviously some games yet to be played. May not end up 4th, may end up even higher.
It's a big
3rd and 14 now for Nelson County. They're in the middle of the field from the 36-yard line. Same formation, 1 tight end, a slot wide receiver, another wide out, and 2 running backs join Vest in the backfield. Vest is going to pass. He's got time. Looked like they wanted to set up the screen, and Vest has got to scramble out of there. Takes off now. He's not going to get the yards to gain. In fact, he may have just got it back to the line of scrimmage. Destin Brown on the tackle. Haven't seen him in the backfield, but he was in the Nelson County backfield there.
Yeah, Brendan Patrick was back there. Demetrius Johnson was back there. They had the angle on Vest, but they were just a credit to his athleticism. They weren't able to pin him in.
Yep. Good stop there from Altavista. We mentioned that was a big series for Nelson to try and strike back. So it's a big stop for the Altavista Colonels. Nelson in a punt formation.
Back for the Colonels.
3 up backs. Punter's about 18 yards deep. Here's the long snap. It's good. Gets to him in the air. Kick is away. Line drive. See if Malbeck wants to field on the bounce. He does. He's got 1 block. Now he's going to cut it back to the left. Going to reverse field again and bring it all the way back to the right. Big block there. No flags on the play yet. And Malbeck is run down at about the 44-yard line. The monster block. Oscar. By who else? Juan Thornhill.
Boy, well, you could see him coming. Boy, he just trying to block, and Juan just absolutely exploded on him.
It was close. It was one of those ones where you're worried about a block in the back, but it was clean by Thornhill. A good hard block. He said in that article on Thursday that he loves the contact. He showed it there. You got a man down on the field, though, for the Colonels. We'll take a quick timeout, step aside, let the trainers do their job. Colonels up 21-0 on 105.5 KD Country.
Accidents happen. When your windshield is chipped, come to Apple Auto Glass, 2429 Ford Avenue. They'll repair your chip for $39.95. In shop, only $39.95. Apple Auto Glass and Mirrors, 2429 Ford Avenue, Lynchburg. Give them a call at 846-2753, 846-2753. That's 846-2753. Apple Auto Glass, proud sponsor of Altavista Sports. Football is a tradition, and so is Apple Auto Glass. Go Colonels.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Live from English Stadium in Altavista. Colonels on top, 21-0. Still 3:45 to go in this second quarter, Oscar. The man trotting off the field is Jacob Hawkins. He's leaving under his own power, though, so that's good news. And the Colonels will be set to take over from their own 45-yard line here. after the small injury timeout. Colonels have looked good. They had a couple 3-and-outs initially, but then after that, the offense has really gotten rolling.
Well, the defense has been big in this quarter. Nelson County's only got -2 yards so far. So great job by the Colonels. Like I said, they've seemed to have figured out some keys from Nelson County and done a great job stopping them.
Yeah, it's been a team effort. Thornhill gives it to Devontae Clark. Clark plowing his way through the middle there, brought down on that right hash mark after a 6 or 7 yard gain. Good run there from Devontae Clark, right up the gut, running behind Ashton Robinson, left guard. Big gain there.
Gain of 8. And nice job by the offensive line. He had about a 3-4 yard gap to run. Got 3 or 4 yards downfield before he was wrapped up, and he continued to drag the Nelson County player.
Yeah, we saw Chatham run that fullback dive last week, and that's really the same play, just from a shotgun formation. You put the running back right behind the quarterback. Thornhill going to fake it to Clark this time, and he's going right side, lot of room. 45-30. Now he's all the way to the 20. He had eyes for the end zone, Oscar. He's finally cut down at the 5-yard line. He's kicking himself. He thought he should have got in, but great tackle there. I think it was Devontae Turner.
Jacob East was 20 yards downfield, engaged the safety or the corner, and kept him engaged in that block and tied him up and won. That allowed Juan to get that kind of yardage.
Well, Thornhill fakes it to Devontae Clark in the backfield left, and Juan takes off right. And I'm telling you, he gets into that 5th gear as fast as anybody I've ever seen. He just covers so much ground.
He doesn't look like it's blazing speed because he's covering such his strides are so long and he's so smooth.
I mean, he went from the 30 to the 10 in the blink of an eye. It was incredible. 1st and goal. They're caught from the 8-yard line. Turns and gives it to Malbeck. Malbeck doesn't have a lot of room. He's going to cut it back and try and make something. He gets it to the line of scrimmage and probably gained about 1 or 2. Flag comes out as the play is ending. Malbeck goes down about the 8. Like I said, I think progress gets him to the 7, Oscar.
Yeah, there's a flag on the play, and it looked like something was going on over on the right side of that offensive line with Casey McLeese.
And the officials are talking it over, so it's obviously something interesting. It's not just a hold or whatever. There's a discussion going on there. And again, I think it was probably going to go as about a 1 or 2 yard gain from Dimitri Malbeck. Officials are still talking it over. There's some gesturing there. Like I said, I think this is a tricky one here, Oscar.
Yeah, they are. They're in a pretty heavy conversation. And we're about to get the call, Kyle.
It'll be some signal we've never seen or never heard of, so it'll make it a lot interesting. And it's going to be offsetting unsportsmanlike conduct penalties, I believe, on both teams. Some sort of excitement went in on there as the play was ending. So those will offset. 2:48 remains here in the second quarter. Altavista up 21-0 and really threatening to break it open here late in the second quarter. They're going to replay 1st down, so we'll act like that stuff never happened. Thornhill has Devontae Clark to his right. Andrews is up behind right guard. Malbeck comes around behind in motion. They give it to Clark. Clark's inside the 5, down to about the 2. You get another flag coming out again. And this is thrown in the direction of that same little conflict that we had last time, Oscar.
Yeah, the preliminary call looks like it's a hold against the Colonels.
Yeah, Colonels are backing up. They heard the officials say hold, even though they haven't signaled yet. You see the whole Altavista team backing up. So this will cause them to lose 5. It was about a 5 or 6 yard gain by Clark. And so this will bring up another 1st down. Very, very rarely do you see 3 first downs in a row, Oscar.
It's
and the
first
team
and,
not getting a yard.
And it's 1st and goal from the 16,
yeah.
So.
Well, we know Altavista's got the thoroughbreds to erase this 16 yards very quickly. We'll see what happens. Thornhill's getting the play into everybody. 3 receivers to his left. running back to his left. East is the lone wide out here to the right. Snap gets by Thornhill. It wasn't that bad. I think he just took his eye off it. Juan's got to make something out of nothing now. He's going to throw. He's got some guys in the end zone. East has got it for a touchdown. Wow, busted play, goes for a 16-yard passing touchdown. And Juan Thornhill had his choice of targets in the end zone, and it looked like even two Altavista guys were going to take it away from each other, but East hauls it in there for the touchdown, Oscar.
There were three players in the end zone wide open on the left side. He threw back across his body, and like you said, I was afraid one of the Altavista players was going to knock it down trying to catch the ball from the other one.
Well, Juan Thornhill, give him a lot of credit. I think he just took his eye off the snap, and that's why it got by him. But to have the presence of mind and the steadiness to make that play happen after the busted snap was impressive. 16-yard touchdown. Walker Allen's extra point is good. That makes it 28-0. 2:15 remaining in the second quarter. Altavista starting to roll here on 105.5 KD Country.
Hey football fans, good news from Altavista area Apple Markets. Check out these new in-store specials like Red Bull 8-ounce size 2 for $3.33 or a 4-pack $5.99 and a 24-pack of Coke only $5.99. Grab a box of chicken at Riverside or Main Street Apple Market locations. Chicken filet biscuit, a bargain at $1.79. Apple Markets have great tasting chicken tenders too. Apple Market convenience stores at Gateway, Riverside, and Main Street in Altavista.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
28-0 is our score here. 2:15 remains in the second quarter. Subway halftime show to follow us here. Second quarter, of course, brought to you by Apple Market. And Thornhill with the presence of mind after the bad snap, or the missed snap anyway, to collect it. Oscar, he was about 15 yards deep behind the line of scrimmage, which put him about 30 yards deep of the end zone. He ran it up towards that line of scrimmage and then heaved it in the end zone, where he found Jacob East awaiting his pass. 5
plays, 55 yards. Took a minute and 30 seconds. Another one of those patented Colonel quick strikes that we've seen this year.
Yep. So Thornhill's got a passing touchdown to add to his rushing touchdowns tonight. He's got 2 of those. Malbach's got the other one. Kickoff not handled cleanly by Nelson, but they get it going around the 20 and brought down. Big stick right there from number 52, Devontae Poindexter. Second time we've called his name in the last few moments. Big hit at the 20-yard line, and that's where Nelson will start.
Boy, and Michi was there with him as well.
Yep.
Again, special teams have been solid for the Colonels all year, really.
Very solid and very good here tonight, other than the one missed kick from Walker Allen. I'll tell you, it was good to see Jacob East catch the touchdown pass, because he's blocked so well tonight. He really deserved to get in the end zone like that.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, Kyle. He's worked extremely hard. He's been a key blocker on several plays, and it was nice to see him get that 6.
He's out here at cornerback right now. Vest turns and hands it to Poindexter. Poindexter. That's Devontae Turner. He's never going to get going there, as it's probably a no gain. Dante Poindexter and Devontae Turner. Poindexter plays for Altavista. Turner for Nelson. And Altavista wants to take a timeout here. Just under 2 minutes. Colonels up 28-0 on 105.5 KD Country.
Try a variety of daily lunch specials priced under $4 at El Cazador Restaurant. The people that brought the first Mexican food to the area 13 years ago, and still going strong 7 days a week. Come by for Mexican or American food, all reasonably priced, with drink specials and great service too. Voted best Mexican restaurant by you, their customers, El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, Main Street in Altavista. El Cazador Mexican Restaurant thanks you for your loyalty and your business. You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
2-minute warning from Altavista, Oscar. Not really. Altavista called a timeout, but served the same purpose there. 28-0. They're on top. And on defense, Nelson County's going to have a 2nd and 11. New York Yankees moving on to the American League Championship Series to face the Detroit Tigers.
Much to my chagrin and much to the joy of Bob Alvis.
Absolutely. Bob is pumped somewhere. Well, I know where he is, but I won't disclose his location. I don't want his many groupies and fans knocking down that door. Can't hire extra security there at WSET. Oh, wait, I just gave it away. Jet sweep here from Nelson County as Dre Brown got it on the handoff from Tyler Vest. He didn't get much. Altavista is going to call another timeout to stop the clock here with third down on the way. We'll keep it here, Oscar.
And that was Dante Poindexter again. Yep. He's had a great first half. Several tackles for losses.
Yeah, again, just a freshman. And most of this Altavista team is youthful, has some more years left. Obviously, those seniors, they're on their last run. Markel Payne, Jacob East, Cody Andrews, Brendan Patrick, and William Martin. And, you know, those guys are key. I mean, we've called all those guys' names tonight, Oscar, so it's not like the Colonels won't be losing anything next year.
No, and those guys are going to be difficult to replace.
Yeah.
A lot of work to be done through the remainder of this year. Hopefully, Coach can get some of these players in some of these games where Altavista's got a lead and get them some game experience. And, of course, you've got the JV team that continues to work hard, and Coach Sharness is involved with that as well.
Yep, 6-1 is the record on the year so far here for Altavista. They're 3-0 in the district. Obviously, stranger things have happened. Nelson County could come back from a 28-point deficit in the second half, but it looks like the Colonels are going to get their 7th win of the year here tonight. Vest is going to take it right side. Got some yards on the gain there. He's short of that first down marker, but he's still driving his feet. There was a big pile there, about 2 yards short of the first down, so I didn't want to say he was down just yet. And he will finally be brought down, like I said, about 2 yards short of the first down marker. Another timeout for the Colonels. Let's take this one with them. 1:44 remains. There's a 4th and 2 on the way for Nelson County after this timeout. Colonels up 28-0 on 105.5 KD Country.
I'm Todd Hall, president of First National Bank. For over 100 years, we have proudly served our customers in Central Virginia, and we're excited about continuing to provide financial solutions into the future. At First National Bank, our focus is on you, the customer, and delivering a very high level of service is our top priority. In fact, our employees are empowered to make decisions that provide you an extraordinary customer experience. So stop in one of our 8 local branches and give us a try. First National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
1:44 to go to the Subway halftime show, Oscar, and I think at $5 a game, the Altavista Colonels are probably the best deal in town. Second best deal in town, though, instant radio auction on 105.5 KD Country. October 27th. I almost said 17th. October 27th. I bet you'll be there. You've been at some of those.
I have, and if you haven't tuned into one of those things, man, you can get some great bargains.
Absolutely. Nelson County going for it here on 4th and 2 in their own territory. Vest tried to play fake, didn't get it, and he's going to get brought down well short of the first down marker. He actually lost 2 or 3. Altavista is going to take over with great field position on the 25-yard line of Nelson. Minute 40 to go in the half.
Boy, with no timeouts, you got to wonder exactly what Nelson County was trying to accomplish there.
First and 10 for the
I just don't quite understand that.
Yeah, it's a bold play from Coach Wells, that's for sure. Deep in your own territory. They only needed 2. But, you know, if you don't get it, which they didn't, now all of a sudden Altavista is really threatening to make this a 34-35 nothing lead.
But they were negative yards coming into this drive for the whole quarter, so...
Well, big stop there from the Colonels D. Got to give them some credit. Thornhill's going to pass. He's got Maulback completed to 20. Maulback now to the 15, 10-5, touchdown. He's in the end zone, and another fantastic block from Jacob East out there.
Boy, he has done such a good job downfield against corners, safeties. You know, he allowed Michi to get into that end zone again, and boy, Michi's got some kind of acceleration too.
Oh, yeah. Thornhill rolls out to his right. He's got Maulback on the out route. Again, Michi caught it on the 20. He got to the 10 very quickly, and then East threw his block on about the 7-yard line. Once Maulback saw that, he knew he was in the house. I mean, he threw the ball up early. There was really no contest down there on the right sideline. Walker Allen on to try the extra point. Hold by Thornhill is good. Kick has got plenty of distance and height, and it's true through the uprights. That makes it a 35-0 lead. Colonels continuing to roll here. Minute and a half till halftime on 105.5 KD Country.
In the past century, our community has grown, and Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service has grown too, alongside the families they've known for so long. Finch & Finch is proud to have served you over 100 years. A family business, Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service, dedicated to your service.
Finch & Finch Funeral Homes. We're here because we care.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Two super sophomores there hooking up. Oscar Thornhill to Malback for the 25-yard touchdown pass and catch. It's Thornhill's second passing touchdown. Malback has gotten the end zone twice, once on the ground, once on a catch. Doesn't get much better than that.
No, and you talk about drives, one play, 25 yards, 7 seconds. And again, Coach Wells, at 2 and 4, I guess, you're rolling the dice and trying to make some positive things happen. But this one didn't turn out well for Nelson County.
Yeah, sometimes you got to roll the hard 6 there. And like you said, Wells definitely trying to run or roll the dice. They tried a running play. There was dice involved. But they didn't get the fourth down pickup that they needed, and Altavista took over. And then, like you said, one play later, Colonels are in the end zone here. Big return possibly from Nelson, though. They got it on the 20-yard line. And I believe it's Devontae Turner on the return. Got it to the 38. No, it's actually number 10, Olajuwon Meredith Vance. Definitely on our short list for best names of the year.
Yep.
And a good return. He had a full head of steam when he caught it. That's why I think the Colonel fans maybe held their breath just a little bit. Altavista up 35-0, though, very firmly in control. Colonel's offense was a little slow getting started. After that, they've been rolling, and the defense has just continued to get better and better. Nelson County now, 1st and 10, left hash mark, 37-yard line. Shotgun formation, 3 receivers. Vest has got a back to his left and one right behind him. Tyler Vest, fantastic quarterback for Nelson. Little reverse play here. They give it to Dre Brown. He had some blocking, got about a yard gain. Then he tried to cut it back. I think the ball came out at the end of the play. A couple Colonels signaling.
Big play on that was Darius Johnson, who was able to make the play turn back up inside where he had plenty of help. Again, the Colonels on defense have been solid.
Yeah, very good. Nelson County had a nice drive there where they got it in the red zone. And Malback batted away a couple passes consecutively on 3rd and 4th down. That was as close as Nelson County got to pay dirt.
And you got to believe Nelson's not going to be in any hurry on this drive. But by the same token, Colonel's deferred. They get the ball in the second half.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Altavista's going to get the ball coming out of the locker room after the homecoming festivities. Best in the shotgun again. He wants to pass. Got a little bit of time. Now he's going to scramble out to his right. Going to keep it. Running here. Gains 5. He's hit hard after a gain of about 8. Demetrius Johnson on the big hit there. I don't think Vest got the first down, although he's close. 20 seconds remaining in the half now. Nelson County could just go to the locker room. I think they're going to run another play here. 3rd and inches. They got to hurry if they're going to run another play. They're in a huddle. They haven't broken it, and we're down to 10 seconds.
And I don't think they're going to get it off.
A couple players looked at the clock, and they hurry up. 5 seconds. 3 seconds. 2, 1. Snap did come in time. It's a running play. Vest now to his left, and to his right. Didn't gain anything. I don't think he got the first down. Not that it matters. The half is over. Colonels, big first half. Everybody getting in on the act for Altavista. And they're up 35-0. Subway halftime show here on the way from 105.5 KD Country.
English Construction Company has been in the building business since 1932, so it's only natural that they appreciate the building process. They recognize the fact that organized sports programs build character as well as bodies and minds. They know that high school sports build our youth into more well-rounded and more productive adults. English Construction Company is proud to be a sponsor of high school sports and salute all athletes, coaches, and teachers. A word of praise and encouragement from English Construction Company with offices in Lynchburg, Virginia.
Try a variety of daily lunch specials priced under $4 at El Cazador Restaurant. the people that brought the first Mexican food to the area 13 years ago, and still going strong 7 days a week. Come by for Mexican or American food, all reasonably priced, with drink specials and great service too. Voted best Mexican restaurant by you, their customers, El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, Main Street in Altavista. El Cazador Mexican Restaurant thanks you for your loyalty and your business.
Installing atrium vinyl replacement windows is like an investment in your home that can begin to pay dividends right away. You can save up to 30% or more on your home's heating and cooling costs. Add to your home's equity and add to its value by upgrading its looks and energy efficiency. Custom crafted atrium vinyl replacement windows. Invest in your home's future with English's.
English's is your complete home center.
Business 29, Altavista.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Colonels lead 35-0 on the Subway halftime show here at 105.5 KD Country. 50 years of award-winning high school sports coverage. Kyle Haney, Oscar Briggs is just waiting to be tagged in there. He's working on the stats, though. I think he's working the ref there behind somebody's back. But, boy, Oscar, Altavista, really, I don't want to say typical, because they haven't been this good in all the first halves this year, but first halves have been really kind to the Colonels. This one, no exception, 35-0. And they're just getting it done in a lot of different ways, too.
Well, and again, after the first quarter, the Colonels led 6-0, and then just exploded in the second quarter. Yardage in the first half, in the first quarter, was 64-63, favoring Altavista, so very balanced from that aspect. And then you get into the second quarter, the Colonels rolled up 199 yards versus 12 for Nelson County. The big play on that, I think, was the pass interception.
Yeah.
Gave Colonels a short field, and they were able to run that in. But for the half, again, 263 yards for the Colonels, only 75 for Nelson County. I think from an Altavista perspective, if you want to have something to improve, you had 7 penalties for a total of 60 yards. Nelson only had 3 penalties, but again, 10 flags, a lot of laundry in the field in the first half.
Yeah, there was, and I think that was something, obviously, if you heard the Subway pregame show we talked about last week, there were probably too many penalties for Coach Sharness's liking. So, again, you do that back-to-back weeks, and that's not going to make Coach Sharness a happy man. He'll have to discuss that in the locker room there at halftime, which I'm sure he will. But, boy, outside of that, can't really fault the Colonels for anything. Offense, defense, special teams. And it's been a total team effort, as we'll talk about as the halftime show continues here. We'll take a quick timeout, get our thoughts together, and we'll be back with even more here on the Subway halftime show. Colonels up big, 35-0 against Nelson on 105.5 KD Country.
A short drive will save you money.
That's right. A short drive can save you hundreds, maybe thousands. The absolute best selection of new and pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Have a trade? When you make a deal, Feller Chevrolet will pay it off, no matter how much you owe. Slow credit? Don't worry. Drive away today in your new or pre-owned vehicle. Remember, if you didn't purchase your vehicle from Feller Chevrolet, you paid too much for it.
Feller Chevrolet in Altavista.
Everybody loves an auction, and the KD Country Radio Auction is coming your way. Saturday morning, October 27th. Your chance to bid and buy and get some great deals on merchandise. We'll tell you when to call in, and here's some of the items that'll be up for sale. From Altavista Appliance, 7th Street in Altavista. Husqvarna push lawn mowers and a 30-bottle wine refrigerator. From Corner House Furniture, just off Route 43 in Lynch Station, a burgundy rocker recliner. From Miller's Jewelry, Main Street in Altavista, men's Pulsar Quartz, railroad-approved watch, a men's digital watch, a men's Pulsar analog digital watch, and a wine opener stopper set. Deluxe. All these items and more are up for auction. You'll want to inspect the merchandise for yourself and then get ready to bid and buy on the phone. We'll take your calls and sell to the highest bidder in the KD Country Radio Auction.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Back here from Altavista High School, 35-0. Colonels on top. It's homecoming here at English Stadium. A couple members of the football team on the homecoming court there as festivities are underway and a big crowd. Altavista got the festivities started early. You know, like Oscar said, they were only up 6-0 at the end of the first quarter. I think that's when the party started in the second quarter. Obviously, they're up 35-0 right now. So they ran off a big total in the second quarter. Juan Thornhill, 2 rushing touchdowns on the night, 2 passing touchdowns. Malbeck has a rushing and a receiving touchdown, so it's been early and often in that end zone for the Colonels. And they get the ball back to start the second half. So we'll see if they can add to that total even more. Juan Thornhill on the homecoming court, announcing him now. Not enough room for all those sophomores out there, as many as Altavista's got on the team. Subway halftime show, Subway Eat Fresh, with 2 great locations in Altavista. You can do just that, either at Main Street or in the Walmart on Clarion Road. They got the new Tuscan chicken melt. They got everything you could ever want. And if you got a big group, you got to get in on the big sub, the party tray. That's going to make everybody happy. I think Oscar and I could probably just down one of those ourselves. With time, of course. We couldn't just knock it out in one sitting. But I think over the course of a football game, we just tear that thing up. And we'll take another quick timeout as Mr. Briggs gets set and under center and return to us. Colonels are up 35-0. Quick timeout here in the Subway halftime show on 105.5 KD Country.
Accidents happen. When your windshield is chipped, come to Apple Auto Glass, 2429 Ford Avenue. They'll repair your chip for $39.95. In shop, only $39.95. Apple Auto Glass and Mirrors, 2429 Ford Avenue, Lynchburg. Give them a call at 846-2753, 846-2753. That's 846-2753. Apple Auto Glass, proud sponsor of Altavista Sports. Football is a tradition, and so is Apple Auto Glass. Go Colonels.
For more than 103 years, we've offered special banking assistance to many nonprofit organizations. I'm Kathy Morgan with First National Bank, and we have a checking account just for nonprofits and faith-based organizations that has no minimum balance requirement and no monthly maintenance fee. We also specialize in offering financing when your group needs a loan. So come see us at First National Bank, and we'll provide your organization with an extraordinary customer experience. First National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
In the past century, our community has grown, and Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service has grown too, alongside the families they've known for so long. Finch & Finch is proud to have served you over 100 years. A family business, Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service, dedicated to your service.
Finch & Finch Funeral Homes. We're here because we care.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Subway halftime show, Oscar. Colonels up 35-0. Let's talk some more about that auction, because you've been in on that before. It's if people don't know what it is, basically we get items from different places around town, Lynchburg, wherever. Then you call us and bid and buy on the phone. You know, I start the bid at $5. If you want it more, you go up to $6, and so on and so forth. And you can really get some great stuff, and you get it for far less than you would in the store.
Absolutely. I mean, you get some current model things, you get some eclectic things,
Yep.
And if you can always go on the website before and see what's up. You've got everything. You've got pictures of what it is, and you know, the people that participate. Once they start participating, they don't miss it. The same callers are in every year.
Yep, and we always say on there, it's worth repeating, you know, October 27th, I know it's not December yet, but Christmas time is right around the corner, and it's such a great place to do that Christmas shopping because, like you said, eclectic mix, so many different things. You got sports memorabilia stuff, you got watches, shoes, all kind of cars sometimes we have on there. I mean, I'm not saying give your wife a car for Christmas, but hey, it's not a bad idea at the prices you can get it at.
No, and there are usually 3 or 4 different cameras on, and we've seen some great savings on some of the cameras. Local golf courses.
Yeah.
You can get some great greens fees. LU chips in with a lot of skating rink type things, and great support from the community on that. And like you said, just some great deals, and the people that log on, they have a ball.
Absolutely, yeah, definitely get on the website and check out the pictures of all the stuff, or get out to the merchants and see the stuff in person. We're getting more and more stuff as things go on. We still got 2 weeks, but it's definitely worth hyping it up now because it is such a cool thing. Colonels, they've been hyped up all year by us, and I think people are starting to really see how good this Altavista team is, as we are still in the midst of the homecoming festivities here on the Subway halftime show. Senior class is getting called out now, so we're getting closer and closer anyway to the finish here, Oscar. And I getting back to football, as we've talked about a bunch of other stuff. If you're Coach Sharness and his coaching staff, I mean, I guess maybe the question is now is how long do you leave those starters in, because you do have 2 very big ball games coming up in consecutive weeks after this.
Yeah, I think you'll see them, from my perspective, and this is just a guess, I think you'll see them on this opening drive.
Yeah.
Maybe halfway through the third quarter, and then you may start to see Coach Sharness go to the bench some.
Yeah. Well, and we've talked about this before in some of these games where the margin of score gets to be a little wider. This Altavista roster is not but so big. So when you say go to the bench, I mean, it's not like these guys have never been in the game and haven't been in the game during crunch time. I mean, obviously you got some JV guys you can go to, but all these guys in uniform have seen action this year and have done a nice job. So I don't know that the Colonels lose too much. I'm not saying they're going to run up to 100-0 score or anything, but yeah, take care of that, would you?
Yeah.
But I think, it's just a testament to how good this team is when you go to the guys that don't normally play as much and you don't miss a beat.
But you've got Donovan Montague as a freshman that I'm sure Coach Sharness want to get some snaps under center. You never know what'll happen if Juan gets hurt. Montague's got a great arm, so I'm sure you're going to want to see him in. You've got a plethora of running backs with East, Hawkins.
Yeah.
Dustin Brown, we think, is a little bit banged up. We haven't seen him run the ball at all tonight.
No.
So I'm sure that we're watching.
Myers and Devontae Clark. I mean, that backfield is full, so all those guys should get in there some. And, it's we've seen Dimitri Malbeck playing the quarterback spot some, too, in some of these games like this. So maybe that's something you try and you work on. And you tinker with things, and sometimes your backups are starters at other positions, so some of it's just shuffling guys around. We'll shuffle some things around up here and come back with a little bit more on the Subway halftime show. Colonels up big, 35-0 over the Governors from Nelson County on 105.5 KD Country.
English Construction Company has been in the building business since 1932, so it's only natural that they appreciate the building process. They recognize the fact that organized sports programs build character as well as bodies and minds. They know that high school sports build our youth into more well-rounded and more productive adults. English Construction Company is proud to be a sponsor of high school sports and salute all athletes, coaches, and teachers. A word of praise and encouragement from English Construction Company with offices in Lynchburg, Virginia.
Try a variety of daily lunch specials priced under $4 at El Cazador Restaurant. The people that brought the first Mexican food to the area 13 years ago and still going strong 7 days a week. Come by for Mexican or American food, all reasonably priced, with drink specials and great service too. Voted best Mexican restaurant by you, their customers, El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, Main Street in Altavista. El Cazador Mexican Restaurant thanks you for your loyalty and your business.
Installing atrium vinyl replacement windows is like an investment in your home that can begin to pay dividends right away. You can save up to 30% or more on your home's heating and cooling costs. Add to your home's equity and add to its value by upgrading its looks and energy efficiency. Custom crafted atrium vinyl replacement windows. Invest in your home's future with English's.
English's is your complete home center.
Business 29 Altavista.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
35-0. Colonels on top. Subway halftime show. Homecoming just about wrapping up. Markel Payne, our very own Markel Payne from the football team, was named the homecoming king there. So that's just like another first down.
Well,
offense,
that's right. And, we've called his name several times tonight, and lo and behold, now he's homecoming queen.
That's right. Maybe we had
or king.
King. Yeah, don't call him the homecoming queen.
Sorry, Markel.
I've seen him hit some people out there. I know he's not the queen, that's for sure. And they're finally wrapping things up here. We've got some time. They got to remove all the stuff from the field, and the team's got to come back out and go through their stretches. So settle in. We got a little bit more time and plenty to talk about. If you're a stat head, which you probably are, Oscar. I know I am. Thornhill, 20 touchdowns on the year total, and he's thrown 10, 2 more tonight. So that's 30 of them accounted for on the year, and that's just mind-boggling because we got more to play. I mean, 2 more games at least, and then obviously Altavista is in the playoffs. Even if they were to drop those 2 games, knock on wood, we don't want that to happen, but I'm just saying you're guaranteed at least 3 more games, really, with 1 playoff game. So Lord knows what Juan is capable of in that category. Dimitri Malbach's got 10 touchdowns of his own, which is pretty impressive, to say the least. He's caught 1 tonight and ran 1. And like I said, I mean, that duo, those 2 guys, offensively and defensively, they're everywhere, and they're hard to stop.
Yeah, and again, we've seen a couple players that aren't in tonight. Destin has not run the ball tonight, and you got to believe that he's a little nicked up. And we spoke earlier, coach's decision on Timron, so he hasn't obviously played tonight. So, again, great job out of Colonels tonight, leading 35-0. And we talked about exactly how much we're going to see of this first team in the second half. And
yeah, Destin Brown has 8 touchdowns on the year, by the way, so his numbers are very good, obviously. And like you said, haven't seen him in the backfield. He has played some defense. And, you know, that's not something that we really need to concern ourselves with, because I think, as we know, Coach Sharness and his staff, they're always pushing the right buttons. Boy, Coach Dave Close, you got to give him a lot of credit, because this O-line and this D-line, I think they're really the unsung heroes. Not by me and you. We sing their praises all the time, but maybe Joe Fan doesn't know how good this O-line is. They're really good.
And it was certainly the big question mark coming into this year's. We knew the skill positions were good, a little bit unexperienced, but we knew the athleticism was there. But again, that was probably the big question, was the O-line, and I think if you grade them out, you give them B+, A- for the year.
Absolutely, and they're continuing to get better, as are all the Colonels, and some of them have made their way back out on the field. The homecoming guys just stayed out there. That's Thornhill, Payne, and Malbach.
Of course, Markel is as the players start to warm up a little bit, Markel's still wearing his sash and crown, so he may not want to give that crown up.
He's going to milk the crown a little bit. He's got to rub it into the other guys that are on the homecoming court anyway. And I don't know, the rest of the team hasn't made their way out on the field yet. Nelson County is in that left side end zone getting their stretching done, as the halftime festivities from the homecoming end are really wrapped up. Now we're just waiting for the teams to get ready and the officials to let the horses out of the gates and let them run. And, again, we're trying to get some of those other scores from around the area, because there are some big games tonight. The other 2 Dogwood games, Chatham and Gretna. Chatham was up 28-17 at halftime, I believe. 28-25 now. Okay. So that game's getting a little closer. And, of course, the other game is Appomattox-Dan River. Both of those 2 teams, Oscar, undefeated in the district. And, you know, I really want to get a score from there, because, you know, Altavista's got to go to Appomattox next week. If Appomattox were to win this one this week, that kind of sets up a big showdown between the Colonels and the Raiders. And, you know, it's a big showdown even if Appomattox doesn't win this week, because it would still, they'd have 1 loss. Theoretically, you can still tie for a district title. A lot of different possibilities.
And the Colonels have no losses. If Appomattox does win and then Dan River loses, and next week it sets up the unbeatens, and then you have to finish with Dan River, of course, here on the last week of the season for the Colonels. Just anything could happen with those 3.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's you know, Appomattox lost some games early, and I think people maybe kind of wrote them off a little bit, but they've come roaring back, undefeated in the district. So has Dan River, and the Wildcats have looked really good. I think some people thought just because Trey Edmonds was at Virginia Tech, Dan River wasn't going to be as good, but they still got plenty to roll with down there in Ringgold.
Well, they do, but they are fighting some serious injury bugs. They've 2 of their skill positions, Farrell Edmonds' son, has a broken collarbone. He's out 4 to 6 weeks. And there was one other player that they had that was a key offensive player that got hurt. So they're a little banged up as well. But, again, ton of athleticism at Dan River, too.
Yeah. Well, and that's something that as Altavista finally makes their way back out to the field to warm up here, that's something that Dave and Coach Sharnas talked about in that pregame interview is everybody's got injuries at this point in the year. And I think, Altavista can probably count themselves as being pretty fortunate because they're maybe the least injured of the teams that we've seen. I mean, knock on wood again, no skill guys really, have been out. Obviously, Destin Brown a little limited tonight and Timron Brown not playing. But, other than that, it seems like they've had the full complement all year. And the line, other than Ashton Robinson missing a game here or there, has been pretty much stable and a cohesive unit.
That's right. And I think if you ask Coach Sharnas, again, given the schedule that they have that last week bye for the regular season, it certainly gives them a chance to get healthy going into the playoffs. I think he would take that every time. I don't know how that schedule continues to work. Great job by Dean Hubbard, I suppose, is being able to have the schedule work out that way for him.
Yeah, I hope that wasn't some kind of backroom deal that Dean orchestrated there to get Altavista the bye the last week of the season every year. I'm sure it wasn't. He's not smart enough for that. No, that was a joke. That was a joke. Dean Hubbard, if he was listening, he would know that was a joke. Hopefully any of his family or fans, he's got a lot of fans, hopefully they know that was a joke. Dean,
well, I don't know that it's actually fans, but and Dean may hear it if he goes on and listens to the YouTube broadcast. It's, of course, brought to us by Feller Chevrolet. If he posted Sunday or Monday, then he may hear that. So you may have to answer to that.
I know. I think I'll answer to that if I have to. I might get put on a 1-quarter suspension or probation or something like that. That's what a coach would do. And Dean Hubbard, he's a coach. He was a good basketball coach back in the day. And he can probably still shoot the three a little bit. Both teams look like they're getting close to ready to go here as the Subway halftime show effectively concluding. And we'll take a quick timeout and be back with the third quarter. Altavista on top, 35-0 on 105.5 KD Country.
A short drive will save you money.
That's right. A short drive can save you hundreds, maybe thousands. The absolute best selection of new and pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Have a trade? When you make a deal, Feller Chevrolet will pay it off, no matter how much you owe. Slow credit? Don't worry. Drive away today in your new or pre-owned vehicle. Remember, if you didn't purchase your vehicle from Feller Chevrolet, you paid too much for it.
Feller Chevrolet in Altavista.
It's time for another KD Country radio auction coming up Saturday, October 27th, starting at 9 a.m. And if you're a golfer, you'll want to be here early because we're going to kick it off with a pair of green fees and cart rental to Ivy Hill Golf Club. That's on Parraville Road in Forest. From Cox Repair Shop, Tardy Mountain Road in Lynch Station, a set of 2 black wall tires including mounting and balancing. From the Computer Repair Shop on Route 460 in Good, 3 used computers, a Dell, a System, and a Gateway. And from McBride Blackburn Opticians, certificates for eyewear. All these items and many more will be up for auction. Thousands of dollars in merchandise. Your chance to bid and buy. Give us a chance to give you a deal. Christmas is coming, and you can get the bargains at the Katy Radio Auction Saturday, October 27th.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Third quarter brought to you by Apple Markets of Altavista. 3 great locations to serve you. Third quarter almost underway. 12-minute show on the clock. And Kobe Etchison is back to kick for Nelson County. Got it teed up. Line drive. Didn't make it about 10 or 15 yards in the air, and it's fielded by the Colonels on the 20. They turn it up, get it to the 30-yard line, brought down. It was Daquan Myers on the return. And they'll call it a 10-yard return. Altavista will take over right in the middle of the field. 11:55 to play in the third quarter.
And, of course, Colonel's leading 35-0. That, with VHSL rules, it will be a running clock. As long as there's a 35-point lead, there will be a running clock here in the second half.
Yeah, if Nelson cuts into that lead, makes it less than 35, then obviously we'd revert back to normal rules. But
21-20 Appomattox.
Clock will run, and we did just get a score there. I mean, this is a crack crew we've got up here, Oscar. We'll probably get phased out at some point. We're the weak link. Hawkins carrying the football for Altavista. He didn't get much, might have gained one. Looks like he did. Tried left tackle there. And Nelson County did a nice job just stringing him out. Couldn't ever turn it upfield.
21-20, Appomattox leads Dan River. So that's a big score.
That is. That's a close ball game there.
And I think we all anticipated that.
Yeah, I agree. And I think the next 2 weeks, Altavista playing Appo next week, Dan River the week after. I think you got to believe those are going to be close games. And it's going to be hard fought. Wouldn't have it any other way, though. That's what makes this game great. Thornhill's in the shotgun with 2 running backs in the backfield with him. He turns. That's Hawkins. Hawkins went up the middle. Now he busted outside. 35-yard line. He's dragged down. Nice open field tackle by number 21, Cody Hubbard, for Nelson to run him down. Looked like Hawkins was going to pick up a lot of yards.
Yeah, I'd like to see Jacob cut it back inside and go a little bit more vertical on that play. He stayed a little bit diagonal trying to get to the corner, and Jacob is not blessed with a ton of speed, but he is quick on that initial burst. But again, brings up a 3rd and 5 for the Colonels. 3rd down. Altavista picked up a few of these in the first half. They didn't need to pick up a bunch of them, though. They got a lot of first downs on 1st and 2nd down. Juan to pass, rolling left. He's got it complete to Malbeck. Malbeck just ran backwards. He was looking to make some space for himself. Going to end up losing 1 or 2. Malbeck, good job. Quarterback in trouble. Did run back towards the quarterback out of that route, but caught the ball at about the 35 and was trying to run backwards to make a turn to get turned back upfield and wasn't able to do it. Loss of 3 on the play. Yeah, and again, Michi's got moves that are so good. You give him the liberty to do some things and cut back and reverse field. That time he tried to run backwards to get himself some room and ended up just slipping. Snaps pretty good to Cody Andrews on the punt. Kick is away. It's deep, lands at the 35, and Evan takes a good Altavista bounce. Bounces by the return man, Meredith Vance.
Andrews punt takes a nice bounce.
And it rolls, stopping at about the 24-yard line. That's where Nelson will start their offensive series. Again, Cody Andrews. 44 yards. Yep. And one thing we've seen, Cody's punt is a little bit unique in that it doesn't get a lot of airtime, and it's got an odd spin on it. Usually the receiving team doesn't get the opportunity to turn it, and you get a 44-yard punt in high school with no return and no opportunity for return, you can start to flip the field on that. Absolutely. Great weapon to have, and Andrews has been great all year. Who could forget the big one that he had against Gretna to pin them deep? That was probably his most memorable punt of the year. Nelson County 1st down from the 24. Vest fakes it. He's going to go right side. Got some room on the sideline. Run out of bounds after a 4-yard gain, maybe 5. Let's see where they spot it. Tyler Vest is the senior quarterback for Nelson County. Altavista's done a great job keeping him bottled up, Oscar. Yeah, he has, and I'm very impressed with his ball handling skills. Yeah, he certainly fooled me on that play. I thought the ball was coming to the left side, and he kept it and moved it over on the right and was able to pick up about 4 yards. Yeah, coming into the game, Tyler Vest had 97 rushes for 934 yards and 13 touchdowns. It's a 9.6 average. And he is the quarterback, so he's thrown some too. Hands it off this time to Turner. Turner fighting for some yards. He had a man draped all over his back, and then all of a sudden the cavalry showed up, and that wasn't good news for Devontae Turner and the Governors. Trying to pick up who that was that had him pinned, and you know, it was Darius Johnson had him contained, and of course Juan Thornhill came in and just lowered the boom on him. Loss of 2 on the play. We've seen Juan lay some big hits, not only on defense, but one tonight on special teams, and he's lowered the shoulder a few times running the football too. Juan can leave you black and blue, that's for sure. Nelson County going to take some time, and I think they're going to take a timeout. Officials are taking a timeout anyway.
TV timeout.
TV timeout is probably appropriate. Now the official gets them set to go. Nelson broke the huddle once. They do it again. Running clock unless the official decides he didn't want it to run. That's right. Official has that discretion. 3 wide receivers for Vest. Vest Gives it to Devontae Turner on 3rd and 9 here, and Turner's not going to get 9. He might have got 1 at best. Good defensive stop for Altavista. Brendan Patrick, the first guy in there. Destin Brown in there as well. Number 6, Demetrius Johnson, also on the spot. They did say he gained about 2. But Nelson County will trot out that punt team. 6:47 to go in the 3rd quarter now. 35-0. Altavista still leads.
And just from my point of view, it looks like Nelson County's gotten a little bit tentative on offense. They're not running the ball with authority like they were on that one drive.
Yeah, they looked really sharp on that one drive that stalled out there near the end zone. Low snap on the punt, but it's scooped up. Kick is kind of low, too. Bounces on about the 46-yard line. Takes an Altavista bounce. Boy, all the punt bounces have gone Altavista's way. And that'll get down by the Governors. Altavista will have good field position on the better side of the 50.
Yeah, only a 20-yard punt. They're going to mark it at about the 28-yard line, 27-yard line, makes it a 19-yard punt. Colonels take the ball over in great field position on the Nelson County side of the field.
Yep. 5:52 now. Clock continues to run. Altavista will take over right hash mark near their sideline.
And, you know, one of the interesting things that you don't really think about a lot is with the running clock, it limits the possessions, and some of the stats that a Thornhill or a Michi would have are really diminished as that happens.
Yeah, you got to do most of your damage in the first half if you're one of those guys. Donovan Montague in at quarterback. Flag came out before they got started. And somebody moved early on the offense for Altavista. As you get Montague in the game now for Thornhill. It looks like pretty much all the other starters have remained, though. Just that one change. I see Malback out there. I see Jacob East. Now Malback's coming to the sideline. Got to be careful because Altavista may have broken the huddle with too many guys since Malback just came out. Montague hands it off inside. He's got number 15, Daquan Myers, on the carry.
Looked like Daquan got back to the middle line of scrimmage.
Yeah. Spot gives him just about a half a yard more, so call it a 5.5, 6-yard pickup. And I believe there was an injury, and that stopped the clock there for a minute. The officials discussing things. Now they'll start it up again, and Altavista's got a 2nd and 9. We've seen Myers a lot this year. We've seen Montague some. He is the junior varsity quarterback. He can also be pretty effective here at this level as well. He's got 2 running backs in the backfield with him. Snaps chest high. He hands it to Myers again. Myers lost the football. That ball's out, and it's still out. There's a mad dash for it. You get about 7 guys diving on the ground. You're going to have to wait and see what the official says. They're going to say 3rd down. Altavista did get it back. Anybody's guess as to who it was that scooped it up.
35-32 Chatham.
The scores are coming in fast and furious now, Oscar. Chatham has just gone back up 35-32. They lead over the Hawks. It was a close game in Appomattox and Dan River. Hopefully we get an update on that, at least before the night's over with. And Altavista's got a 3rd and 9 now. 46-yard line, Montague to throw. Got a man there, but it was batted away briefly. He was looking for number 24, Canavis Jones. It was almost got to Jones, but somebody for Nelson got a fingertip in there.
4th and 9 for the Colonels.
And 4th and 9, I'm sure we'll see Andrews back for the punt. Clock continues to run, Kyle. 3:40 again with the running clock. It's rolling. 3:40. Colonels lead 35-0.
Yeah, Colonel's defense was pretty good on the Nelson County initial possession of the half. Andrews is back deep to kick. Altavista in that punt formation. Andrews has his heels right on the 40-yard line, middle of the field. Perfect snap. Andrews has got plenty of time to kick. There's that line drive again. Almost fielded it. Looked like Nelson wanted to field it. Return man was Tyler Vest. He lets it go, and it rolls into the end zone. So it'll be a touchback.
Again, he's only getting 25 yards in the air on that, but that rolled into the end zone, a 47-yard punt by Andrews.
Yeah, it's you know, if you watch college football, you see a lot of guys use that rugby-style kick where they run and then kick it, and it's sort of a low rolling punt. Now, Andrews doesn't run out like that. But his punts kind of come out like that. Normally they're low and they roll. They always take a good Altavista bounce. And they seem to be extremely hard to return. That's not to say that he won't kick a high one here and there, because he does. And I don't know, maybe it's something he consciously, maybe he's got the ability to kick it low and kick it high, Oscar. We'll have to get Dave Haney to pose that question to Mike Sharnas. Either way, Cody Andrews gets the job done. He's in there at linebacker. They're running at him. Andrews is not going to be able to make the tackle. Devontae Turner's going up that left sideline, and he's still going. Gets it all the way out to the 50-yard line. 30-yard gain from Devontae Turner. He just kept on trucking. I mean, he had a Colonel draped on his back for about 15 of that 30 yards.
Yeah, it looked like some arm tackling was trying to go on, and they were unable to wrap him up.
Good gain there from Devontae Turner, his longest of the night by far. His rushing yards, again, they're very good coming into this game, too. 786 yards coming into this game.
And I think that was Brendan Patrick that had him wrapped up in the backfield and was unable to hang on. Nice leg drive to get him up on that 30-yard gain.
Vest wants to pass. He's going to have to do it in a hurry. He ends up just throwing it. I think this is grounding. Officials let the play go on. Maybe they're saying it's just a fumble. I mean, he threw it right down.
Yeah, he did throw the ball down. It's going to be a grounding call. And the worst part of this is Vest comes up lane. He's going over to the sideline. He is not very mobile right now. He's limping pretty heavily.
No, you're right. That's the terrible part for Nelson County is, it's one thing to lose a football game, which it looks like they're going to do in this one, but it's another thing to lose your best rusher and your quarterback. You don't want that to happen. Officials are still talking this over. It was a passing play. Vest got flushed out of the pocket, had a man draped on his back, so he decided just to throw it down. But it was clearly an intentional grounding because he had no intended target. A couple guys kept playing. I don't know if there was ever a whistle or not, which is smart if you're Altavista. Keep playing, try and scoop it up. Maybe they call it a fumble, but it was a pass. They'll call it intentional grounding, so you're going to lose the yardage and the down if you're Nelson County. That'll bring up, I guess it's going to make it second and what, about a mile?
Second and 20.
Okay, that's not that bad, actually. Really, I mean, that's, for an intentional grounding in that kind of play, it could have been a lot worse. Let's see who takes over the quarterback spot for the Governors, if we can get a number and identify him. Same formation. Well, they've really got 4 wide receivers now and just 1 running back. Looks like number 8, Kobe Etchison. It is. He's going to pass. He'll get flushed out of the pocket in the same way. Gets the pass off. He's got a guy deep. Wow, it was close. Just short hop to the receiver at about the 37-yard line. Incomplete.
Yeah, and they switched direction, and Thornhill and East were both in the area, but the receiver did get behind them, and a little bit more steam on that pass, and that would have been right at the first down marker.
Yeah. Etchison at first didn't look like he wanted any part of the play. Then once he escaped the initial pressure, really fired a pretty good pass. Just came up about a yard or so short. 3rd and 20 now. Down to a minute in the third quarter. Clock continues to roll on here as Altavista leads 35-0. We'll recap all the scoring here in a minute. Big third down for Nelson County if they want to keep things going. Handoff goes to Devontae Turner. He's hit. I think it is Demetrius Johnson on the hit in the backfield. It's going to go as a 5-yard loss. Big tackle by Johnson.
Yeah, nice play by Johnson. They lost it about 5 yards on that play.
Let's hear it for the defense, everybody.
4th and 25. Nelson County's forced to bring out that punt unit. They may not even have to punt it this quarter as we're down to 25 seconds. It's a question of when the referee started the play clock. Down to 18 seconds. Nelson County looking to the sideline for a little bit of direction here. And another player, I think. Small back, deep to return for the Altavista Colonels. He's standing on the 36-yard line. Snap back, pretty good. Here's a kick. It'll bounce on the 50. Wow, and it got touched by Altavista. I don't know who it is over there that touched it. They wanted to return it. Malback was the return guy. And it's Juan Thornhill over there. A little bit of improvisation on the punt return by Juan.
Yeah, it was, and that's the end of the third quarter. Colonels lead 35-0.
Big third quarter there, 0-0 by both teams. But Altavista did enough damage in the first half that it didn't matter. We'll take a timeout. Last quarter on the way. Altavista up big here on 105.5 KD Country.
The game is brought to you by these members of the Altavista Sports Club.
Chef's Drive-In, serving hometown pride with 18 flavors of milkshakes.
Comfort Inn in Altavista, outdoor pool and free hot breakfast with your stay.
Steve's Florist, best quality at the best price for all occasions.
El Cerrito Mexican Restaurant, authentic Mexican food, open 7 days a week.
Aubrey Rosser, attorney at law, Main Street, Altavista.
Peace of Pie Restaurant, Lower Broad Street, Altavista. Give peace a chance.
China Walk Super Buffet, American and Chinese food with the newest item, crab.
Perkins Twin Tire and Auto Service, your Michelin tire store.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Tickets are $1.
35-0. Altavista leads 1 quarter to play. Fourth quarter brought to you by Apple Markets in Altavista.
Exciting night in the Dogwood, Kyle. Dan Rivers gone up 28-21 over Appo, and Chatham leads 35-32. Gretna had the ball at the 2-yard line. Interception by Chatham to prevent the Gretna score.
Yeah, exciting stuff, like you said. Every night in the Dogwood is exciting. It's a shame you can't be in 3 places at once. Montague takes the snap, hands it off, and it looks like Daquan Myers is gone. 20, 15, 10, 5, pay dirt. Daquan Myers takes it in from deep. A 47-yard touchdown run by Daquan Myers and the Colonels. When they continue to roll, they're up 41-0. Extra point on the way, Oscar.
Yeah, and nice job again by the offensive line on that play. Was able to get the corner sealed, and nice job by Daquan off tackle, and he had one player that had a hand on him, and he wasn't able to corral him and pay dirt for Daquan. Nice to see Daquan get in the end zone.
Absolutely. Long scoring run right there, and you mentioned it. Some great blocking, and Daquan ran out of the tackle of the only guy that really had a chance. Walker Allen on to kick. A lot of pressure from the Nelson County rush, but Allen makes it anyway, and that makes it a 42-0 game. Quick timeout here. Colonels up big on 105.5 KD Country.
Accidents happen. When your windshield is chipped, come to Apple Auto Glass, 2429 Ford Avenue. They'll repair your chip for $39.95. In shop, only $39.95. Apple Auto Glass and Mirrors, 2429 Ford Avenue, Lynchburg. Give them a call at 846-2753, 846-2753. That's 846-2753. Apple Auto Glass, proud sponsor of Altavista Sports. Football is a tradition, and so is Apple Auto Glass. Go Colonels.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
11:37 remaining in this football game. 42-0. Altavista on top. Daquan Myers in with a 47-yard touchdown run there on first down. So I know what you're going to say, Oscar. It was a one-play, 7-second scoring drive.
47 yards.
Yeah. It probably took more than 7 seconds as Daquan went off left tackle. Then he had to bounce it out a little bit. Then he turned it up and was gone.
Yeah.
Maybe it took 10 seconds.
Yeah.
We're
6 minutes
having a good time up here. Probably not as good a time as the Colonels are having on that sideline there. Big homecoming victory it's going to be. And they can boogie the night away and do the Boney Maroney and the twist and all that. All those dances you used to do, Oscar.
No, I wasn't much of a dancer then.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
You were on the golf course, I guess, at that point.
I see you dancing when you're playing golf.
We've just got a report that Oscar dances when he makes birdie putts on the golf course.
4 birdie putts today, by the way.
Wow. Wow, here we're going to get the play-by-play on that. But not after this Walker Allen kick. Long boot, going to bounce on the 17-yard line and fielded by Devontae Turner. Turner turns it up, got to the 24, and then he was hit hard, stuffed by a couple Colonels. And I think the guy really delivering the boom was number 3, Markel Payne,
Gets it out to the 25.
who now has to be known as the homecoming king. King Payne.
Yeah, that's exactly right. King Payne.
Well, that's a good name anyway. Nelson County's going to take over from the 25-yard line. 11 minutes now in the football game.
Kyle, we talked about stats. Third quarter, the Colonels had a total of 8 yards, 11 on the ground, -3 passing. Nelson County had 29. And again, that's 2 possessions for each team. It's strictly a function of the running clock.
Yeah. Yeah, we saw some good action in that third quarter, but the running clock really turns it into about, what would normally be about 5 minutes worth of football if you stop the clock. Flag down here before the play really got going for Nelson. Let's see who this is on. That'll stop the clock momentarily.
Really?
Encroachment or offside on Altavista. So we'll make it 1st and 5 now for the Governors and bump them up to the 30-yard line. 10:48 to go. 42-0. Daquan Myers just scored.
Boy, when they score in that one play, 47, when they score that quickly, it's easy to miss it.
It is. It is. You blink an eye, and all of a sudden the score has changed. You don't want to live in the past. Etchison at quarterback for Nelson County. He's back to pass. Good throw. Tipped high off the receiver's hands. Boy,
I got to tell you, he was backing up. It was off his back foot. It was off his wrong foot. He was backing up, and he gunned that ball on a line 25 yards downfield.
Yeah, Etchison, 6'3", 190-pound senior. Wide receiver and a defensive back. We saw him return about 3 or 4 kicks earlier, but apparently he's got a hose, too. Winging that football around. And 2nd and 5, I wouldn't be surprised to see Etchison throw another pass play in here. He's getting a play from the sideline. He's going to meet that huddle on the far hash mark there. 9:47 to go now in the football game. 42-0. Thornhill ran 2 in for touchdowns. He threw 2 for touchdowns. Malbeck had a receiving and a rushing touchdown, Oscar. It is a pass play. Etchison's got some heat coming. Man hit him as he was throwing it. He didn't get off a bad pass, but it was low over the middle, incomplete.
And I'm going to give credit to Brendan Patrick on that play because he really could have lowered the boom on Etchison, and he made contact, disrupted the throw, but it was clean, and he didn't hit him hard as he could have.
Yeah, and that's classy, in a game that's 42-0. I mean, obviously you still want to play hard. Sometimes you don't have to throw that extra.
And Brendan likes to hit. I mean, he really could have lowered the boom on him. But nice control and good job not doing that.
He might have had a notion just to take the ball from Etchison as he brought it back, like the old Statue of Liberty play. Etchison flushed out of the pocket here on 3rd and 5. Pump fake, and he pulls it down. He's going to get the first down and more. He's across the 50, now to the 45, still on his feet. What a fantastic run. It took a lot of Colonels to bring him down. One of the best runs we've seen tonight. And Etchison, doing like a Ben Roethlisberger impression with the pump fake and then taking off. And then he was just pinballing off of people, Oscar.
Nice run, 36-yard gain by Etchison. He showed a lot of strength and a lot of athleticism. He's got good speed, actually.
He does, and he's listed as a wide receiver and a DB. We saw him back deep on the kickoff return team. So he's got the wheels. He's got the arm. He's not the regular starting quarterback, but not a bad job.
And the pump fake absolutely just fooled Johnson.
Oh, yeah. The pump fake was pure class and bought him a lot of time and some room to run. He's in the quarterback spot again. Got a tailback right behind him. Gonna pass. Straight drop back pass. Throwing deep left sideline. He's overthrown everybody, including Dimitri Malbeck. I don't know if it was Malbeck out there at cornerback or not, but Etchison just heaved that one to the back pylon of the end zone. Nobody home.
That ball, again, he was backing up. It went 50 yards, and he was backing up when he threw it. I'm really impressed with his arm. But again, 42-0 with 7:31 remaining, and you got to air the ball out.
Yeah, you got to air it out. You got to throw it, and I think these are the times when you can see something special. I mean, that run that Etchison just had was pretty cool. And you mentioned throwing it off the back foot. Maybe he's like Kurt Warner, he used to throw it off the back foot all the time. Passing play again. Etchison's going to roll out to his right, pump fake, got to throw it. He does, and it's picked off. Colonels have got an interception, and they're going the other way. It looks like it's going to be a touchdown. It looks like Jacob Hawkins on the pick, maybe, Oscar. It is a touchdown for the Colonels regardless, though. Going to make it 48-0. It's Jacob East on the touchdown. Second one of the night for him.
Boy, again, most of the Colonels' first-team defense was out. Etchison threw the ball. Nice break on the ball by East. And he was able to take it to the house.
Yeah, great interception there by East. We'll call it a 75-yard interception and then return for touchdown. My apologies to East. I wasn't sure he was still out there. We now know for sure that he is. And he let us know that by getting the pick and then getting in the end zone. Again, his second one of the night. He caught one from Thornhill earlier. Allen on to try The point after, kick is up, end over in, and it's good. Allen missed the first one. He's made them all since. Makes it 49-0. Jacob East with a long interception touchdown return. We'll take a timeout. Colonel's up big on 105.5 KD Country.
Hey football fans, good news from Altavista area Apple Markets. Check out these new in-store specials like Red Bull 8-ounce size 2 for $3.33 or 4-pack $5.99. In a 24-pack of Coke, only $5.99. Grab a box of chicken at Riverside or Main Street Apple Market locations. Chicken filet biscuit, a bargain at $1.79. Apple Markets have great tasting chicken tenders too. Apple Market convenience stores at Gateway, Riverside, and Main Street in Altavista.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Well, Jacob East makes it a 49-0 lead after the long interception return. He's got 2 tonight, 1 on O, 1 on D. Thornhill's ran 2 and thrown 2. Malback has 2. Myers has 1. Myers is the only one that doesn't have 2. I think Nick Bailey's got 2 back at the station. He's good for 1 touchdown every night. And Altavista brings out their kickoff team now. Dan Rivers still up in that ball game. Believe Chatham is still up in their game.
Chatham's still up 35-32.
Altavista's still up here, of course. And we've got 6:53 to go in this ball game. Again, try and keep updating you on those scores as we get later and later in the year. It's those district games become more and more important. Oscar, is Altavista going to go to 4-0 in the district after this one?
39-35. Gretna scored to take the lead over Chatham.
Well, look at that. Low squib kick from Walker Allen. Bounces up, falling on at the 27-28 yard line by Nelson County. We're under 7 minutes to go now, and it's again, it's one of those nights where if you could be in 3 or 4 places at once, it'd be perfect. But we can't, so we got to rely on our friends and our buddies, which for me and you is few and far between.
Speak for yourself, Kyle. Speak for yourself.
So you alienate everybody with those birdie dances out on the golf course. You drive all your friends away. 6:24 to go now. Nelson County's going to have a first down from the 26-yard line. 27-yard line, excuse me. They're huddling up now. Etchison, seen some good things out of him here in the fourth quarter. Best started the fourth quarter at quarterback for Nelson, but he came up kind of gimpy on a play, so no need to run him back out there in a game where the outcome has already been decided. Shotgun snap. Etchison hands it off this time. Up the gut. Big gain right here for number 21 from Nelson. Looks like Cody Hubbard on the carry. 17-yard pickup. 31, excuse me. Doug Taylor.
That's number 31, Doug Taylor on the carry. First down for the Governors.
Taylor's a sophomore. Good running right there. Had a lot of room up the middle, so nice blocking by the O-line from the Governors. They'll have to make the long trip up 29.
And I don't think the Colonels have any starters. Well, I see Hawkins.
Hawkins is out there. Yeah.
Daquan's on defense some, but for the most part, you've got 6 or 7 players that aren't starters out on the defense now.
I see number 6, Demetrius Johnson out there. That's a scary thought if I'm in the backfield for Nelson. Etchison hands it off to Taylor again. Taylor's got some more room. 8, 9, 10 yards. Now he's still driving. Gets thrown ahead by a helper from his O-line. Ends up being about a 14-yard pickup there on the right side.
Doug Taylor on the carry.
Right on the 40-yard line. Beyond it now.
On the tackle for the Colonels. It is another
Montague making the hit.
Back-to-back runs, 19 yards and 15 yards for Nelson County.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I think they're going to give it to Doug Taylor here again. Or maybe the play-action pass, let Etchison show off that great throwing arm again.
And with the running clock, 4:34 and 49-0 Colonels lead.
Pulling guard here. Etchison's going to follow him. He got hit by Johnson. Sort of ran out of the tackle. He couldn't run out of the second tackle. He got it back to the line of scrimmage. Not much more.
Tackle made by
That'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Dante Poindexter, no gain.
And Demetrius was a little bit slow getting up that time. He's working his shoulder.
Yeah.
Colonels need to be careful here.
Yeah. Well, again, like I said, sometimes when you put the backups in, that just involves moving your guy who's a first string at one position to another position where he's second or third string. And that could be a situation with Demetrius. So he's still out there. Shotgun formation. They got trips receivers to the left side. They hand it off to Taylor again, and Taylor's got some room again. 10 yards past the first down marker. He's hit hard, but he held on to the football. We're under 3:40 now to go in the ball game. Altavista up big, 49-0. They were up 35-0 at halftime, Oscar. They tacked on a few other ones here. Second half scoring has been Daquan Myers on a long run and then Jacob East on a long interception.
And, of course, a huge explosion, 29 points. 29 points in the second quarter by the Colonels.
Yeah, it was that second quarter where Altavista did all their damage. They went into that leading 6-0. But they really put the game away in that second quarter. Etchison turns, hands it to Taylor. Taylor just sifting his way through the defense. Gets up to that second level, gains about 7 yards.
Taylor once again on the carry.
Good blocking again by the Governor's O-line. Second 5 on the way from the 22-yard line, middle of the field for the Governors. They've got 2:44 to try and keep from being shut out. And you know Altavista would like to maintain the shutout because that's always a nice feather in the cap.
Yeah, and Colonels have had one possession here in the second half. In the fourth quarter, excuse me.
Goes to Taylor again, the handoff. He goes around right side, gets hit, gains yards, picks up the first down. He's down to the 11-yard line. Another good run from Taylor. He just continues to churn out yards for the Governors.
Yeah, nice drive. You know, the Colonels have had one possession. It was one play. Nelson County got the ball, drove down, interception by East, who took it to the house, and then they kicked back to Nelson County. So the Colonels have only run one offensive play here in the fourth quarter.
Well, it was a pretty good one at least. Doug Taylor's having his way back there in the Nelson County backfield. His ride up 29 is going to be a little bit more fun. They'll give it to him again. Tries the middle. This time he's hit hard by Randall Clark, number 75 from Altavista. He ended up gaining a yard or two, though.
Randall Clark.
Altavista, I know Coach Revis and the rest of the guys would really like to keep this shutout here. Shutouts are hard to come by. If you can keep a team from getting in the end zone, offensively, defensively, and special teams, that's a pretty nice thing to do. Referees are talking over this flag here while the play stopped, Oscar. And if you get the shutout, the pitchers get to hit batting practice the next day too before the game. Oh, I think that's the wrong sport. Flag goes against Altavista. This will move them closer. They're going to say half the distance to the goal line on the personal foul. Still got second down on the board there. I thought maybe it would be first down. Maybe they still can get a first down, Oscar. I'm not sure. First down marker's on about the 2.
Personal foul should be automatic first down.
Yeah, you would think. Here comes Etchison. He's going to try left side on the quarterback keeper. He's in the end zone. Touchdown. Kobe Etchison and Nelson County. So we talked about the shutout, and it didn't happen.
Well, it didn't, but, for Nelson County, Taylor's just a sophomore.
Yep.
And he had the bulk of the carries on that drive. Nice drive. Taylor's a promising-looking young running back.
Yeah, Doug Taylor getting him in position, and Kobe Etchison, the senior quarterback, scrambling in there. He wasn't the starting quarterback, but he did start at some other places. So Etchison's got some athletic ability. Governor's going to go for 2. 2-point conversion try, 3-yard line. Taylor and Etchison in the backfield. 2 receivers to each side of them. Nelson County O-line down there in the 3-point stance. They hand it to Taylor, goes up the middle. Etchison tried the old Brett Favre fake after the fact. But Taylor comes up about a yard short. Good stop there by the Colonel's defense. Kickoff on the way. Altavista up 49-6 over the Governors from Nelson County on 105.5 KD Country.
Don't you think it's time that your business account made you money? I'm Marion Marshall with First National Bank, and we've introduced a small business interest checking account that earns your business interest. That's right, interest. So for a progressive small business checking account, come to First National Bank today. We'll show how your business account will earn interest, and we'll provide you with an extraordinary customer experience. First National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
49-6, Altavista leads. Kobe Etchison gets the touchdown for Nelson County. And the Governors will be set to kick off here, 1:23 to go in the football game. Oscar, Subway post-game show on the way after this. You don't want to miss that. We'll again try and get those other scores from around the area. Maul back deep to field the kickoff for Altavista. Doesn't look like it's going to get back to him as the Colonels down it on the 28-yard line east, fielding the kick.
And with 120,
27-yard line.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, 1:20 to go in the fourth quarter. I think Altavista is just going to take a knee here. Might take two, possibly. Oscar, we've talked about all the other games. We've talked about, you can go back and listen to all our games on YouTube, brought to you by Feller Chevrolet. Short drive will save you money. What else do we need? We talked about the auction. We've talked about the Bob Alva Sports Buffet podcast. We've talked about everything. And now we know that Appomattox has lost that game to Dan River, so the Wildcats will stay undefeated in the district, like Altavista will. And Altavista's getting some players in there. Randall Clark ran off, then he ran all the way back on. I guess they decided they did need him. And Altavista is in that victory formation. Looks like they're going to take a knee here from the 28-yard line. They do. Montague takes the kneel down. And we're now just over a minute to go. 49-6. Again, that instant radio auction on KD Country is October 27th. You can hear that online too at kdcountry.com. If you listen to us there tonight, thank Walmart for that. Clarion Road in Altavista. And again, you got to go to that kdcountry.com webpage. You can get linked up to everything there. Tickets, the Sports Buffet podcast, who knows what else is on there. New stuff every day. There's the second kneel down, 35 seconds now. I think they'll just call it at that. We'll see if the officials make them kneel it one more time or not.
Yeah, I think that's right. And then looks like Michi Hallback and Juan Thornhill having a little discussion with the side judge down here.
Well, that's always nice. 14 seconds, and there's the last kneel down. That's all it'll take. It would set up fourth down, but it doesn't matter here. Clock's going to run out. Altavista, big winner here, 41-6. Moves their record to 7-1, 4-0 in the Dogwood District. Big game against Appomattox coming next week. We'll talk about all that and more on the Subway post-game show right after this timeout on 105.5 KD Country.
In the past century, our community has grown, and Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service has grown too, alongside the families they've known for so long. Finch & Finch is proud to have served you over 100 years. A family business, Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service, dedicated to your service.
Finch & Finch Funeral Homes. We're here because we care.
English Construction Company has been in the building business since 1932, so it's only natural that they appreciate the building process. They recognize the fact that organized sports programs build character as well as bodies and minds. They know that high school sports build our youth into more well-rounded and more productive adults. English Construction Company is proud to be a sponsor of high school sports and salute all athletes, coaches, and teachers. A word of praise and encouragement from English Construction Company with offices in Lynchburg, Virginia.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
49-6, Altavista wins here from English Stadium, a homecoming victory. And it really was in doubt for a little while, Oscar, but that second quarter explosion, I think, put all the Colonel fans at ease and pretty much put Nelson County away there.
Yeah, it really did, Kyle. And, you know, the Colonels really dominated that second quarter, 199 yards total in that second quarter against 12. Not only did they dominate it from the offensive end, but the defense really bowed up. Was able to force that turnover, short field, 20 yards, punched it in, and from then it was just about Katie bar the door for Nelson County.
Yeah, it was, and the Governors really fought hard there in the second half. Got to give them some credit. Saw some good things from Doug Taylor and Etchison at quarterback. They kept trying, but Altavista did some things in the second half too. Jacob East takes the long interception back. Daquan Myers with the long run. And the Colonels' defense continued to be stout. So it was a fantastic game for Altavista, all three phases of the game, and it sets up a big one next week against Appomattox, who lost to Dan River. So they've got one district loss now. Dan River's still undefeated in the district. That'll be the week after that, but you can't look past the Raiders next week.
No, you got to believe it. With Altavista coming into Appomattox is going to be a little bit peeved. This game went back and forth. You know, the Appomattox-Dan River game went back and forth. Appomattox had an opportunity to win it, and they're not going to be a happy bunch.
No, it's going to be, I think, a really focused week of practice for the Raiders. And sometimes when you blow a team out like the Colonels did tonight, Oscar, sometimes maybe that can affect your practice a little bit. But I'm sure Coach Sharness, not his first rodeo, he knows how to get these guys ready. And they do a great job of that week in, week out, this coaching staff. So I know the Colonels will be ready next week at Appomattox.
Well, and the good news is that Coach Sharness was able to, early in the third quarter, was able to get some of his starters out, or certainly limit their play.
Yeah.
Hopefully that'll give an opportunity to get Tim Ron back in gear and Dustin a little bit healthier. And I think that bodes well for Altavista going into Appomattox.
Yeah, you would think you're going to be a little bit fresher from that standpoint. And that should be a good thing to have going into that game against the Raiders, because you're probably going to need all you can get. Appomattox got a good football team this year. They lost a bunch of guys from last year, but they've still got a boatload of talent there due the Raiders. We'll take another quick timeout, wrap things up, talk about this one, talk about that one, and talk about anything else that we need to here on the Subway postgame show on 105.5. Colonel's a big winner here, 49-6.